What do you want to do tonight?
The same thing we do every night, Pinky. Try to take over the world.
Black Air Force energy.
Are you ready for this?
Alright. This right here be future. Come around wrong, we gon' shoot ya. It's all respect, I restored my clenching, now I'm glowing like a lamp. We the village, we the camp, we go hard, yes I stamp this beat, that vision view, flow as we move, and we work, make it shake, bake the cake, he needs some milk and cornflakes. I'm on, but I'm not Drake, I'm Camaro, never fake, Mr. 7 still trucking, while the haters still bucking. I be on my way to something, while you lanes be on nothing, y'all be in, be bluffing. I'm the flame, I'm the heat, I'm the sizzle in the oven. Me, I clean my plate every time that I'm grubbing. Wipe the gravy with my biscuits, so take a look before you miss it. Mr. 7 on the jacket, sharp tongue, I digress. My mic is muted in the system, still they feel me through the stress. Never turn my back on family, on the ones that held me close. I was standing in the crossfire, turn that pressure into growth. You can change the way you move, I won't bend to every trend. Took a hit, kept on pushing, wiped the blood, grabbed the pen. Mr. 7 still here, still here, still here. Yeah. I took a hit, kept on pushing, made the doubt disappear. Never turn my back on those I love, that's etched in my skin. You can change, but I won't, I don't fold, I begin. Mr. 7 still here, still here, still here. Hey, even when my mic is muted, they gon' hear me in the air. Peace sign up, that salute. Third eye, wide that view. I was quiet in the room, but my scars all spoke the truth. Did the dirt, did the healing, now I'm guarding what I earned. Every lesson in the ashes, every bridge that had to burn. You can chase a quick image, I just chase a clearer mind. I don't grow into pretending, I grow solid over time, yeah. Mr. 7 still here, still here, still here. Took a hit, kept on pushing, made the doubt disappear. Never turn my back on those I love, that's etched in my skin. You can change, but I won't, I don't fold, I begin. Mr. 7 still here, still here, still here. Even when my mic is muted, they gon' feel me when it's clear.
Mic check 1 2, mic check 1 2. All right, now, much respect, respect. Welcome back to another episode of Smittys Corner, aka Lighthouse_301. Shout out to everybody and everything going on great in your life. All right, now let's get this bad boy going. I ain't even gonna hold us. Tonight for me is a special episode simply because I got my homie back up here. So we just gonna go ahead and kick it off. Y'all get ready because we getting ready to definitely bring the pain. We are going to talk about some things. We're going to have some fun. We're going to laugh and we're going to kick it and cool it just for a little bit. We're going to bring you guys some great content to the best of our abilities. So with that being said, everybody, once again, please give it up for the one who is back like she never left something. Let's go ahead and give it up for the oh so lovely, the oh so beautiful. We need to give it up for my fam. Miss Ocean. Before you say anything, you need both intros. Man, what's up, fam? What's going on with you?
Hey, sweetie. Hey, listen, shout out. I need to give a huge shout out. And I'm sorry. People gonna think I'm strange, but
What? What's up?
I want to give a special shout out to Sheep Stealer.
Huh? What? What?
If any of y'all watched season 3 of House of the Dragon Sunday episode 1, shout out to Sheep Stealer, nigga. I swear to God, you get the acting award of the year, Sheep Stealer. That is the dragon in question. Like,
I'm gonna Google that and redefine your intro. I'm gonna Google that and see what we got.
No. See, you don't understand. You don't understand.
Okay.
Yeah, I like the intro. You don't understand why I'm saying shout out to Sheep Stealer, because this is the first dragon that I was like, bitch, I hope you die. Bitch, I hope you die. I hope you die the long way. Funny. I hope you die.
That's funny.
This nigga fucked the whole show up to the point I was like, now, if I see him again, I swear God, I'm gonna consider not watching the show and boycotting, because oh no. But never mind that, y'all. I just had to get that off my chest, okay? Because woo!
You sound like how all the women treated Danny Glover after The Color Purple.
First off, what the
you know how like they couldn't stand his ass in real life for some decades and shit. He had
for some decades.
He couldn't.
That's true.
He had to do Beverly Hills Cop. He had to do a lot of shit to recover from Color Purple. So I get you.
He did. You are so
real
right.
Real shit. Like people really in real life hated his ass for that.
He did it so well that he had to play such good roles for a long ass time. Listen, that tells you how long memory is. Okay, we don't forget.
Yeah. But it also tells us how much that once upon a time it was real when we said that, what was it? The art is the replication of life, right?
Yeah.
Nowadays, unfortunately, life is trying to replicate the art, as in we all want to be fake. But that's a whole nother story. But let's go ahead.
Right.
Yeah, let's go ahead and get into this. Reese back. Welcome back. The time right now is 7:45 p.m. East Coast Standard Time. Lolo, I have a question for you briefly, okay? Before we get started and everything, first of all, how was your day? Go ahead and give us your day just in a nutshell. You know, tell the people how your day was.
My day was good. As you know, I babysit money. It was good until it wasn't.
You do babysit money, a lot of it, a whole lot of it.
Yeah, I babysit a lot of money, and I shout out to all the managers out there that say don't approve anything until you get a permission, and then you never come back to give approval, and then when I check in, or anyone checks, and for that matter, your response is, "Well, you just didn't put in a requisition. You need to go ahead and do that." Like we were just supposed to do that with no permission. Shout out to you people. Shout out to you.
Oh shit. Oh shit. Okay.
They know what
That's-
I'm talking about. They know. The people who know. I'm speaking to you. Yes, you.
If you know, you know. Point blank. Period.
Mm-hmm.
If you know, you know. All right. So for me, ladies and gentlemen, my day has been it's been active but lazy. What do I mean by that? Basically, I had to fill out a whole bunch of paperwork and just make a bunch of phone calls. And other than that, I was able to still take my daily nap and just kind of kick it and cool it, talk to my lady on the phone, and just have myself a great day and make sure my kid leaves out of here. You know, Lolo, real quick, I want to talk about this because I have to, and I don't think this is, you know me, you know us as far as like we private people when it comes to, we don't talk about too much, but I think this is pretty safe. My daughter's 18. I want you to help me out with this, Mom. Help me out with this. My daughter's 18.
Okay.
All right, and she's just stepping into womanhood. She
Mm-hmm.
turned 18 in January, so she fresh in it.
She
I
Capricorn.
am January 18th, just like her mother. Her mother's December 29th. Her and her mother.
Mine is January 19th.
You're the you are. You're the day after.
Yeah.
You fam for real. Yeah, you the day after my mama. Yeah, she the 18th, man. Yeah. So look, right. I'm talking to her. For some reason, the only thing she wants to leave the house with is money, debit card, and phone. And I'm trying to tell her, because what I don't like is I'm trying to tell her, now mind you, she's one of those, she is a girly girl, but she's not girly girl in the sense of like heels and purse and pocketbook. She likes more so like the colorful, like small book bags y'all wear, you know, the little character like Pokemon or something on the back, right? So she likes that. Okay, cool, whatever. My point is that I am trying to express to her, have you ever dealt with this with your young ones? Expressing to them, once you reach that age, you don't leave the house with just your phone. Like, you need to, if you don't carry your purse, is what I'm telling her, take with you, like when you leave the house, you should have like something you can carry your bottle of water in. You should have some where you got your wallet, a charger, just in case your phone dies while you're out and you're near a shopping center or something. You can still call Dad, I got you, right? Or your grandma, she's nearby, whatever. But I'm trying to explain to her how adults don't leave the house unprepared. So I mean, I don't know. Is this a phase, or is this something I really should be, you know what I'm saying, concerned about?
No, it is a phase. I'm having a son, my youngest son. Obviously, I don't have this problem with my oldest son. He learned his lesson when he jumped in that car and got pulled over, and now he been fighting the white man for a year and a half. Yeah, by his damn self. Me and his father looking the other way when he like, Mom, Dad, Grandma, help! And I'm like, what? I'm Stevie Wonder, Ray Charles, everybody. He learned, but my youngest son, he only learned because he's watched his brother talk about that. He's watching me forget my keys, forget my wallet, have to use his debit card. He ain't like that shit. That's when he every time he look at it, he think about his money, his key, his wallet, everything. His dog chain. He think about everything because he done seen me forget shit, and then I had to call him, and he did not like. He ain't like having to spend money, and then I had to give it back to him because every time I call him, he like, I'm broke. I be like, yo, I just gave you $50. You ain't even know about.
Hey, look, I shit you not. Just the other day, I gave her a $20 bill, and what she was purchasing was only like $7. I never asked her for the change because I was on some like, you've been doing a good job around the house. Like, whatever, keep the change, whatever. Like, I'm one of them parents, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I'll never let him keep the change.
Listen. She turned right around. She turned right around that same night and say, Dad, can you get me some pizza? I say, sure. With the change that you kept, where's that? Should be around $17 damn. All you wanted was a daggone iced coffee from Dunkin' Donut. That's what she asked me for. Dad, can you give me an iced coffee? I'm at Dunkin' Donut. I sent her $20. You asked
Okay,
me
yeah,
pizza later. Yeah, you asked me for pizza
yeah.
later. Like, come on now, you got money for pizza. Go ahead, order your pizza.
No, she's in
Adult.
that phase. She's in that phase like Bilal, where if I give him a $50 bill and he break it and he got 25 or $30 left over, he assumed that because he's my child, he get to keep that,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
that's
yeah,
his
yeah.
money. And when I say, "Can
Basically.
you buy some milk with my money for $4?" He's like, "Do you got it?" I'm like, "No, you got my money because I let you keep the change." And so
Right.
they think that they're in that phase of I gather all of the money and I let them spend their money. Like they're learning, let other people spend their money. Like that's what they're learning right now. I learned that when I was about 10 years old. My father gave me and my sister $5 in nickels every week. And I learned to beg him for what I need and put my money in my little savings. And of course, I was saving up to get some Reeboks, some hot tots, which was $25. And you know how long that take at $5 a week. So I had in nickels at that. And then he bumped me up to quarters. It was strange. But I learned young when I had regular money. Oh no, I need my money. I'm broke. But see, I was 10. My son is 16, going on 17. No, ain't no you broke.
Right. Basically.
Ain't no you broke. Fuck that
Nah,
shit.
the only way you broke is if your father broke.
Right, that part. That's the
Like,
only way.
that's the
That's the
only
only
way.
way.
But let's go ahead and get into it. Lolo, you as a woman in a healthy relationship, so on and so forth, and you as a woman who just knows how it was back in the day. I want you to tell me how much, all right, out of when we watch this, once I stop it, how much of it is true? And this is like, yeah, it's comedy, but that's real, or how much of it is just comedy out of 100%? Let's listen.
Mhm.
So, I mean, what kind of meal is that without meat?
It's a vegetarian meal.
Do I look like a vegetarian to you? I work 60 hours a week. I don't want vegetables. I need meat. Didn't you get paid today?
I quit my job yesterday.
How come you quit?
They were disrespecting me, Julius.
My father always worked 2 jobs, which made my mother so comfortable, she'd quit her job over anything.
Oh, my calls.
Who are you hollering at? Hold my call. Hold your own damn call. I do not need this. My man has 2 jobs.
My mother seemed to always find work when she needed, so my father didn't complain that much.
I guess all those other people are just crazy.
How real is that, Lolo? It's funny. I know, right? I ain't gonna lie. That joke, I know. It caught me too. That was like that was one of them scenes. How real is that?
I will be honest with you. It's funny, right? It is funny. But let me keep it 1,000. That is not an accurate picture of Black culture. It's not. And I'm gonna tell you why.
Why did they keep on saying, real
I know. But hear me out though. The reason why that's not accurate is because Black women are much like our teenagers. They don't be on some, my man got 2 jobs, I don't gotta take this, unless they like something serious happen and they finna jump to another job, but they not about to quit their job and don't know what the fuck gonna happen and then have to, if they in that job, they need that job. We don't just be quitting jobs because we out here dainty just working for the sake of it. No, we working since the slavery days. We out here footing half the bill. No, my man got 2 jobs.
Wait, Lolo, briefly. The main message before you keep going is that's how comfortable husbands made their wives back then. The message that I picked up that I was trying to like see if anybody, like coincide with or not is how real is that in the sense of, like when they say like most women stayed with their man because of the financial reason, like how she said, I can quit my job when I want. My man got 2 jobs. You
Look
see,
where they live
that's what. Okay, got you.
Look where they live
That's where
at.
I was going. Now rock out. Go ahead.
You don't got no Black woman in the hood telling me I'm about to quit my job because somebody told me get off the phone because my man got 2 jobs and we live in the hood, yeah. Like your 2 jobs got us in the hood. Like even if you was out here with me and you at, nigga, you can't just quit your job out here. This shit costs.
Lola, in the Webster's dictionary, there's a word in the C section, if I'm not mistaken, it's called complacent.
Complacent.
I believe that's what's a lot. Yeah, I believe that's
Well,
what
there
our
are some.
people have been for a long time. Yes. So that
There,
right there, what you heard was the words of a complacent mentality. Rock out.
no, no. That right there is a high anomaly that is very rare because most of our parents' relationships look more like you remember it was a movie with no, any movie where black women are maids. They
Yeah,
work in
absolutely.
like that. That's the thing. That was the highest honor up until like 1960 for black people,
Which
1978.
yeah, whatchamacallit, Jefferson's. What was her name? Played on 227. Oh,
Yeah, but keep in mind,
right,
she
right,
was
right,
a
right.
maid to a black man that had just came in the money. He didn't even
Okay, so
smell like money.
okay,
He was in money.
okay. Benson. Let's go to Benson.
I'm just saying it's always either it's a highly rich family or middle class white family, but black women historically have not had the privilege to sit and be that entitled. Like our culture doesn't have it like that. Like most black people lived in the ghetto. How entitled can you be? And even the little bit that moved out the ghetto that had the money to not be in the ghetto, they were not that. They came from the South, the rural South.
I see.
Yeah. So they wasn't entitled. Like my man got 2 jobs. Your man having 2 jobs is a new thing. Most women's men were sharecroppers.
Facts. Yeah, a lot of us. My grandfather, I mean, that's only 2 generations up. I have land because he was a farmer after coming out of the military. He farmed.
Keep in mind, even our parents' generation, my father made a lot of money at his job, but that was because he lucked up. But most African Americans did not make the type of money my father was making here in the city up in Baltimore. And it was like he knew that, and he made us very much aware of that. But it's like, listen, my mother was a stay-at-home mom. But for the rest of people who was not making what my father was making, you see what I'm saying? You needed 2 incomes still. So if that man is running 2 incomes to support you in the ghetto, bitch, I wish you would quit your job. That ain't even real. You get back in the day, like my uncle, rest his soul. Niggas used to put hands on people for dumb shit. Don't give them some real shit to do like that. Like, you gonna quit your job? All right. And keep in mind, back in the 80s was when women started to go back to school so that they could get real jobs that they couldn't quit or didn't want to quit. So, I mean, I get the comedy of it all, but in reality, if my man got 2 jobs to support me and my kids, and we live in a place where we need food stamps, my mother lying to the government to get food stamps while being married to my father, that ain't a situation a chick can be entitled with, because you can, quit your job, but then dude gonna holler back like on some other shit. Like, don't play that game.
Is it possible this story is true? Yes, it is. You're right. It's fact.
All right, Lolo. So let's go ahead and let's move on slowly into what we're going to be talking about today. Yes, this is going to be a little heated, y'all. Lolo, what we're going to do for this short in particular, I want the whole short to play through because it is just short. And then as soon as it's done, you already know, ladies first, you got the floor, and I'll give my take on what it is that I think, okay? So let's go ahead and listen to this right here. Let's see what we got.
I come to America and I was looking for community. And to be perfectly honest, I met a lot of African-American actors who, as I started to gain a bit of success, I could tell they felt threatened by my presence, by what I was being afforded that they felt they should be being afforded.
Oh, man.
And I was terrified because I had just now been afforded the opportunity to play Oprah Winfrey and Forrest Whitaker's son.
End of flashback. A few moments later.
Can you move it along? I'm all out of time, guys.
If you take the Nigerian accent like this and you slow it down, you put a lot of slavery in there.
Facts.
And then you start to put a little bit of subservience in it. This is what starts to happen.
to the Nigerian accent.
Man,
It goes this because literally, if you're down here and you start to speed it up, and then you start to take all the thing out of it, then before you know it, you're talking like this.
Now we are free again.
Now we are free. We are released.
Hey, that's how you do it.
Smooth transition.
You see that?
Damn.
Can you try it?
You have to study it.
The following Thursday.
That I want to apologize unreservedly to all those who were rightly offended by my comments on the 154 Africa podcast regarding Southern accents. It was a wrong thing to say, and it is not how I feel. I have nothing but deep respect and great love for Black people of all kinds, especially those from the American South. Reducing a dialect born from the richness and resilience of Black Southern culture to anything less was careless and wrong. All I truly care about is lifting up my Black brothers and sisters from all places through my work and my words. Please forgive my failure to do that in this instance. Signed, David Oyelowo.
You got the floor, Lolo. Let's rock out.
He meant what he said. I hate when people apologize later like that. Like, you meant what you said. What you said cannot be apologized for. That's how you feel. And here's an issue I have with Africans, right? One thing they miss about African Americans is we prefer our races honest.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
Like, I don't think they'll ever understand that about us because of chattel slavery. It's almost counterintuitive. But no, we prefer for you to be very, very blunt with us about how you feel about this. Like, we don't like you if we can sense that you are not honest. The second we sniff and smell that you feel one way, but you talk and jive another way, listen, that's treason, okay? As far as like what he said about Southern accents, I mean, he has a point that Africa has influenced America through the transatlantic slave trade. He has a point.
He has a point on how.
No, I didn't say he has the point. I said he has. No, I didn't say he has the point. I said he has a point that Africa has influenced American culture, just what it is to be American through the transatlantic slave trade. However, there are other factors that factor into why people speak the way that they speak. For instance, he spoke about African American culture, but he didn't speak about the first African American culture, which is in Brazil and in Haiti and Jamaica. Like, where do those accents come from? Were they not taken from Nigeria? Were they not taken from Ghana and brought there first? So why is it that you're trying to act like African American accents come from, you know what I mean, your country, when you would be better off making the claim that Ghanaians and Nigerians, you can hear that in Brazilian. You feel me? Because that's where they at right there in the Congo. They in Brazil. They have the highest amount of Africans in the diaspora outside of Africa, because that's where they dropped them off at first, and then they took the boat north. So
I thought it was like Jamaica, Cuba, then South America, or am I correct?
No, nobody go up and then come back down. They went across the Atlantic, because that's the shortest path from the coast, from let's say Ivory Coast, Liberia, and then you follow it, the wind current right to straight across to Brazil, and then you bang that right and take it on up north, and then you start going to the islands, and then you hit Florida, and then you hit the Gullah Islands, and then the next port was Maryland. So, I mean, this right here is what I'm saying in terms of just knowledge base. Like, he has a point. African accents do play a role inside of American accents and culture, but it's not to the degree that he's giving it. Like he said, if you just slow this down, it's the same thing. No, sir, it's not. And it's strange that, you know, Nigerian accents cannot be slowed down. They can either be Nigerian or they can be American. Nobody has ever mistaken an American accent for a Nigerian accent. No one in the history of niggerdom.
Well, I would say this part, right? My whole thing is when he transitioned and said, Yeah, because if you put a little of this in there, sprinkle that, you get slavery on our side. But once you go ahead and talk like this right here, now you're free. Like,
No, I'll tell you this, right?
like, hold
No,
on.
no, I'll tell you.
Wait. Let me
Go
make this
ahead.
point. Yeah, let me just finish making this point. And I'm saying to myself, free. But yet in Nigeria, you all are fleeing so many places to the point where you're being banned all over the world. There's like literally red flags for specifically Nigeria coming to almost any damn country at this point. Secondly, now we are free. You mean the same place where you guys speak French because you were colonized? You mean you're free as far as everybody runs Africa except Africans, even the goddamn Chinese right now? Are we going to play these games? Who's free? I digress. My mic is muted. Rock out, Lolo.
That's a good question. Who the fuck is free over there? But see, here's the thing: you have the Irish accent that plays a big role over here, and people don't want to talk about that, especially white people. You also have the Spanish accent that plays the UK accent. That's big up. The European accents overtake the North. The British accent is overtaking the South. You mix that British accent with some of that Spanish accent, then you mix it with some of that African accent, and then you mix it with that Indian accent. Because there's some words here that don't come from none of those cultures. They come from pure American accents in terms of what was already here. I mean, you got what you have in terms of an American accent. And keep in mind, our accents have changed since the days of slavery. People didn't speak English the same way they spoke in 1598 to now.
That's a fact. Ain't nobody saying ye, they, and thou no more. Facts.
And
nobody
here's the
talks
thing:
like
African
the Shakespeare
language,
days. Yeah, the Shakespeare days. I know what you're saying.
right? The Shakespeare days.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
even when you look at African language, you're telling me our accents are evolving because we're human, but y'all haven't. What about those click languages they have down there? That's the most purest form of an African language you can get. That click language from the Khoisan in South Africa. That's the earliest language in Africa. You telling me that that's not freedom? The clicking ain't freedom? That's the most freest language you can get. So here's my thing.
Go. No, I was gonna say they went from clicking to French, but go in Creole.
Correct. They went from clicking to something else that did not come from them. When you look at, for instance, the Ethiopian language, right? That language is a Afro-Asiatic language. That, like, those are blacks that founded Asia. That is not what they come from. And so what I'm saying is their accent is a mix of Aramaic, the ancient original Afro-Asiatic language of Kemet, the Southern Click languages.
Sumerian,
so it's like
even
Sumerian on top of that. People failed to
that is
listen.
correct.
The best thing people like the gentleman in the video here can do is to respect the fact that even though you might think your culture is the best culture and it gives everybody else culture, right? Keep that shit way down to yourself. Like, keep it down to yourself. Because truth be told, if I got into downplaying his accent, right, and saying, hey, y'all listen to me, your accent in the language you speak is because the Berbers conquered you. And I can tell by the names of your tribes that you were conquered and taken over with their language. You see how now it looks like I'm attacking them, but I'm only spitting history here. I'm only talking about history.
Nah,
you see,
you got a point.
So when he says this right here, it sounds like freedom. No, bitch. That sounds like that first wave of slavery that's still going on, and honestly didn't even legally stop until 1994.
Goodness gracious. Okay. I'm with you on that one. Respect to the family, man. Shout out to any and everybody who just so happened to be watching. Although I know people like to stay in the cut because of the political. Oh, hey. Hold on. Is this playing? Shout out to everybody in the building, man. My bad for that delay. So, Lolo, we gonna get to it. Listen, now we really gonna get into what it is that we already know we gonna talk about, right? So this is the first one, right? So the first one, I picked this one specifically for you, yeah, because I wanted to trigger your behind, girl. All right. So let's go ahead and start off with the Somalian. All right. So this right here, as everybody can see and respect. The time right now is 8:11 p.m. East Coast Standard Time, and I welcome you all back to another episode of Smitty's Corner, aka Lighthouse_301, featuring the oh so lovely, the love experience, the dragon, Miss Ocean. Let's go ahead and get it. Why is our country being invaded? What happened to America? Now, there's a hold on. Let me make sure. Hold on 1 second. Let me just make sure because I want to make sure I do this right. Let me go back and make sure that the title is yes. Okay. Here we go. This is it. All right. So let me pull this back up. All right. Let's get it, Lolo. My bad for that slight delay, y'all. Let's go. And hold on. Dang it. Share screen. All right, boom, put the volume up and wow. Let's go. Lolo, this is the point where let me know when you want me to pause it. I can hear you.
Okay.
Sure, somebody will have a rebuttal out of the guests.
No problem.
Go ahead, Queen. Why is our country being invaded?
This is the Somalian woman asking the question.
What happened to America?
Yeah, invasion is like a war term. I don't know about that. But if you live outside of America, you'll know that there are companies. All they do is they, for instance, need nurses or they need certain kinds of jobs. They go all the way to China to promote people to come to America. As we're gonna give you this, we're gonna give you that. This is happening. If you don't know, because a lot of the American-born people. They don't go outside of America. A lot of them have no passport, so they've never been anywhere outside of America. So they think that we are invading America, but we're not invading America. There are promotional tours that a lot of people go to different countries, and they ask for people to come to America. So are you telling me that doesn't exist? If you go and research, you'll find it. They're promoting America as a place where you can have your dreams. You can have the American dream. You can start from having nothing. If you are someone who is tech savvy, so they go to India in particular, because I saw that in my own eyes, and promote. People who are working in Silicon Valley, most of them are Indian. It's not a coincidence. People promoted from the governments of America. And about fighting Black women, the administration is doing a good job. And I've seen people who used to have government jobs. They were very good at it. And the only reason they don't want people to have equity or equality or whatever you want to call it. And they say, since this person is a woman and she is not just a regular white woman, a Black woman, we can fire them in drones. Like they fire them in groups. And that's what we did in the Ministry of Health and whatever. It's up to people if they want to, no president affects me because I went into a certain kind of a level of life. They cannot affect me because I employ people. I don't go and work for people. And that's the problem. When you have to go and look for a job in a corporation, or you go and look for a job in a company or in the government, your life is under their hand. Their thumb is in, basically you are obliged to do whatever they want.
What are your thoughts so far, Lolo?
She's not lying about how companies go to other countries and recruit talent and bring them over on what is it? what is it? Not B1 visas, not K1 visas. I used to know this. Those specific type of visas, student visas, essentially. H1B1 visa, I think that's what it is. So when they bring them over here, they're bringing them over here to say, hey, work with us, get the experience, and then as soon as that work is done, you got to leave the country. And they be trying to switch over to a work permit to stay here, but they're legally supposed to go back. But the way the company works is we pay you less because you're not a citizen. You're not endowed with rights to get certain amounts of pay. But it's more than what you would get paid, far more in your country. So you put up with it. So this is why, on one hand, both of them are saying what's correct. Americans feel invaded because all these companies are moving these foreigners in droves. That is correct. They do hire in droves. And then when the companies are done with them, they want to stay in the country because they don't want to go back to India. They don't want to go back to the jungles in Cambodia, in China, wherever. They want to stay here. So what do they do?
Our hotels and everything. They know what that feel like. They done had the
They've
early
been
morning
in
breakfast. Right.
They've been in the colleges. They've been engulfed in the culture. They don't want to go back. And if they do, they're going back to get their family and bring them back here. Because now they got a foot here and the family is like, yo, and the culture is bring your family with you. So the one side is saying the truth, which is this is what's happening. This is why and how we are getting here. We're not trying to invade. We're just trying to survive. And they come to our country and exploit our level of non-survival and then do this. Now, the Americans on the other side feel like, wait a minute, how is it that companies here is hiring other people, not hiring us, firing us, preferring y'all, making it hard for us to do something because it's profitable on both sides. This is what they call both wings on a pigeon. It don't matter if it's the right or the left, it's the same pitch. The companies, the government entities that are benefiting from that benefit from both sides. So I don't think the focus would be the foreigners, because if somebody hungry, right, you can't tell them you should just be hungry in your country. If I'm hungry and my kids need something and the only thing I got above their head is a 10 plate, I'm going wherever it takes me to get them up out of there. I don't care about your country. That's how I feel when I'm American. Like if some shit pop off here in America, I'm going to Mexico. Period. Like I'm coming up in there. So I'm just saying, this is how we feel.
Right.
Okay, I don't mean no harm to the Mexicanos, but I'm not staying here. I'll work in the fields and help out, but don't be talking about don't come across my damn line. So we all have the same drive to survive. It just happens that we're not in the position of those other people in those other countries. However, the truth is we are being invaded. That isn't a type of invasion. We are. It's true.
Okay, so let's listen to what our side has to say about this. And again, let me know if you want me to pause it or I'm gonna let it play a little bit and we'll go ahead and tap in. Let's rock out. The time right now is 8:19 p.m. East Coast Standard Time on this lovely summer Thursday. Everybody, let's watch.
Your plane.
Thank you. I landed.
Okay, I just want to clock her tea real quick because let me tell you something, ma'am. A lot of us are well traveled and we all have passports. The majority of Americans have passports.
Got a rebuttal too after you, so
yes, ma'am. I just need to let her know we are well traveled and we do have passports and those licenses, licenses y'all using, baby.
Pause.
I got you.
Okay, I need to stop right there before we get too far into the weeds. What she just said was a lie, and she knows a lie. The majority of Americans cannot afford their rent or their gas and electric. The majority of Americans do not have passports. Okay. The majority of Americans have never traveled outside the state they live in. The majority of them. Now you have a 20 percentile, even 40 percentile that have traveled, let's say, to the neighboring state. And then a smaller percentile that have actually traveled across the country of America. And even a smaller amount of those that have traveled internationally. But the idea that most Americans have passports is like, come on now. Like, come on. Like I understand what you're trying to do, but that ain't the hill to die on right there.
So
not
you're
that
telling me all of that we see online is really more so that's the loud minority.
That's a loud minority. That's a hard loud minority.
Taking trips, not catching flights, not fill-ins, all of that. That's the minority. A lot of us catching feelings, and we got Edie's ice cream and a bottle of wine in front of the goddamn.
Let me tell you something. In my own, and you can look at your own family, because we don't got to ask each other about our own passports. But look in your own family. Only the people with passports are the people that got stable jobs. The people with passports and that use them, that's another category, are people that not only have stable jobs, but they have investments. Like they got a savings that makes sense for them to do so. You don't go flying and your next month rent ain't paid. Like that's not how that works. And it's like when people need something, the first thing they stop doing is traveling. That's the first thing they stop doing when they need money. That's the first. Like ain't no question. And right now, our whole country is underwater right now. Our hands in the air, somebody might see us drowning, but our head is under this damn water. Okay, know that. So this idea of passports, and here's the thing: even if you got a passport, that don't mean that you can afford to travel. A passport might run you $200, maybe $250, $80.
That was about mine. That was about mine. I went to the listen and watch this though. When you even said that part, you know, when I got my passport, I'm 43. 2 years ago, I was 41. I got a passport at 41. I finally got a passport and used it.
I got my passport first when I was when did I get my passport? I got no. I got my passport when I was like late 20s. Back then, I went to Jamaica without a passport. Yeah.
How you make it? You know what? No. Ooh, wrong question. My bad, y'all. Forgot we was online. Don't answer that. So let's go ahead and get back to it. I digress. My mic is muted. Shout out to Jen. I see you in the building, Sugars. All right, now.
I can't use that here in America. So carry on with that, and I'll land.
I was going to say one thing too, because one thing that you just said offended me. So, first of all, some of us do have employers and we still do work, but we do public work. There's a lot of us that work in healthcare, and we're out here serving your children or your mother or your grandmother. So you're saying that we don't have a right to feel some type of way because we're going to serve and make sure that your people are okay, and we shouldn't feel a certain type of way? Is that really what you're sitting here saying?
I didn't say that, but if that's what you got, I can't help it.
Okay, hold on, Queen King. Did you have something to say? Did you hear the rebuttal?
There was something that she said that kind of caught my attention. She said that
Go ahead, Lolo. I hear you. No, I be trying to make out between them talking and when you. My bad. Speak up a little bit more for me when you say that. But go ahead. I got you.
Okay, so I think the black lady, and I'm assuming she's black from her accent. Okay. Shout out to the accents. She's taking offense where she doesn't really understand what is really being said. And what I mean by that is this: in foreign countries, right? They don't have the luxury of applying for a job making six figures. That's a luxury. You get a job, middle class, a job you can just show up at, and you in middle class just because you got the job. Out in foreign countries, especially third world countries, everybody is a business owner. You either you working on a farm, selling some shit, and I mean your body if necessary.
No, facts. Street hustle. Street hustle.
Street hustling. Vendorship.
Being a successful street vendor over there is equivalent to having a career here.
That's that part. So when the lady said, I don't report to nobody, I own myself, from her perspective, that is freedom. From our perspective, I will be goddamned if that is my life. If everybody out here had to pay their rent based on what they could cook on the side of the road, listen to me. Hell no. If that's freedom to them, give them a shout out for what the fuck they got going on down there. But that is not our culture. That is not to be compared to what is normal here. So when she said, well, you know what I mean, y'all worried about getting jobs. Yeah, because jobs is the culture here. Middle class was based on factory work. Like, that's our culture here. So when people say Americans don't have culture, every time you speak about the difference, you're talking about American culture, period. And if you don't like American culture, you're free to do whatever the fuck you want to do. Now, granted, we have entrepreneurship here. That is also a part of our culture. But let's say the meat and the bones of American culture is stable work that benefits the country. As JFK said, ask not what your country can do for you, but what you can do for your country. How you gonna do that if you're a vendor on the side of the fucking road? The black woman understand, but she don't understand.
Facts. I'm just saying, if I pull up and I'm in your country and I say, hey, it's pretty hot out here, I want a slushie. And I pull up to your stand, where can I get a slushie? Right over there, my friend. And I go pull up and you got a huge block of ice on the ground with your dirty ass bare feet blocking the ends of the ice so you can break it up and make me a slushie. I need to roll out. But anyway, I'm just saying.
That's 1,000% the truth right there. I don't care about you being like that. No, I prefer to buy my slushie from a fucking company that gives jobs to people that have regulations.
Bring me back to America where we got King Smoothie.
Basically. Okay? And people with jobs that work there. That's right. And managers and supervisors and regular people and the trash people jobs.
Listen.
All of that.
And we know inspection comes through randomly at any point.
Yeah,
so you have to
that
keep
insurance
your shit together.
policy.
Hold on, not even just that. You ever seen them pass out the food in them street vending places? And you know, me as the hygienic person or OCD that I am, ask my girl about me. I'm trying to tell you now.
I know.
I randomly, I'm trying to tell you. And when I'm looking at them serve, I'm like, so when so they give the dishes back, how do you clean them and give it to the next person? Where the sink's at? I don't see no yellow gloves that go up to the elbows. I'm not seeing not a bottle of Dawn in sight. Your shirt looks like you got done changing oil before you made the food. Literally, your hands and shirt look like you just got done changing the transmission. You just dropped the transmission and came over here to serve some camel and rice. My nigga, if you don't go clean up before you serve my food. Anyway.
Well, here's the thing, right? Now let me be transparent. When I was in Jamaica, not Egypt though. When I went to Egypt, I couldn't do this shit. But when I went to Jamaica, I was on the highway, right? And we was coming back from Kingston, and we was hungry. Okay, we was hangry. All right, and it was this guy on the side of the road with this grill. You know what I mean? The old school round grill and shit. And he had on this little white hat, looked like a Kango, but he had like a apron on, like a female's apron. And he had his little tools and stuff. And he was chopping up chicken on one side and throwing it on the grill and doing the flip thing. Look here. I swear to God, I got a sniff of what the fuck that nigga was cooking. We pulled the fuck over with the quickness. Bought a whole chicken and ate the bones too. And I was looking at this dude like, did you wash your hands? But I'm gonna be honest with you, the way that food smelled and the way his apron was clean as fuck, you see what I'm saying? He was over there doing this thing. I think like, and he wasn't touching the food at all. But I was like, you know what? I'm gonna give you a chance. But in my country, I wish the fuck you would be out here, no goddamn gloves on, standing over this motherfucking food with this damn meat. But I gave him a pass. But see, in India in the Middle East, I'm not going for none of that shit. No. I need somebody that got a job to do. No.
Nah, okay, Lolo. Hold the heck up. I'm gonna find this shit. Hold up.
No, you ain't. No, you ain't. Don't do it.
Yes,
Don't do it. I know what you about to do.
I'm about to find that shit right now. I am not playing. I just pulled up a video, right? So Lolo, hold on.
You a mess. How you gonna do this?
Next. Serving, hold on. Serving street food. All right, here we go. Y'all just bear with me. I got to. So Lolo, let me ask you a question, fam.
Mm-hmm.
You ever seen them times in the hood where somehow, some way, you know what I'm saying? We got Spanish people in our neighborhoods, right? And these Spanish people in our neighborhoods are serving food. Do you know how they serve food, Lolo?
I'll be honest with you. I don't know.
Yeah. And I'm gonna pull this up. Lolo.
I only know the Spanish people that work in the Chinese shop. Like
You said you only know the Chinese. The Spanish people that work in the what? In the Chinese shop.
in the Chinese shop. That's the only Spanish people I know.
All right. So hold on. So I'm gonna pull this up because I absolutely have to. But yeah, no. What we do is we normally we be having some like wild ass moments. So you know what I know over here in Langley Park, over here where I'm from, Lolo, on this side of town, we will have Spanish people that will pull up and they'll actually like have food, right? They'll have their food inside of right here. Boom. Here we go. All right, so boom. All right, so let me pull this up. Here we go, Lolo.
Mm-hmm.
Lolo, this is a real thing in America.
I can't see it.
Hold on. Boom. You can see that?
Okay.
All right. This is some real shit because it happens right here in PG.
Coffee cart. That's nasty. wait. Is he making a corn? That looks pretty good.
When they come over here, this is how they start.
It looks all right, man. Our sandwiches are better. That's true. There's no way he has a permit for this, right? Wait, hold on. What is that?
Is that hot sauce?
And lemon juice?
Is that good together?
No, it's probably not good.
That's shaved ice. That sounds really good right now.
That does sound kind of refreshing.
With fruit punch. I could really go for one of those.
You know what? I'm gonna do something about this.
What, are you gonna call the cops?
No, I'm gonna go ask him for one of everything.
Wait for me.
Hey, yo, this dude's making food out of a...
Yeah. They come over here and make food out of shopping carts and make big bread. Go up to one of them Spanish women in the shopping cart that got the empanadas. Hand her a $20 bill, buy one thing, and when she give you change, watch that knot like rappers pull out that she get out of that skirt. And you like, where did you get all this money?
Yeah, no, I've seen that too.
Real
I
shit.
hate seeing that. Well,
Real
okay,
shit.
let me be fair though. Let me be fair, okay, to the Hispanic people or the Spanish people, whatever. Okay. Now
But
with the
good.
people,
It'd be so good. I ain't gonna lie.
the
That
people
food be good
the people that come over here, they do shit like that, and I don't buy from them for that reason. However, shout out to the Spanish people that come over here, learn English, learn the law, get their licenses, open up shops, okay, have professional chefs, give jobs to their family and a few other folk, okay, like they're supposed to. So, and then they sell good ass food. Shout out to El Presidente in DC, okay, y'all was good. Listen, I'm telling you now,
You
with
don't know
that girl.
nothing about that Presidente and you don't know nothing about that.
Yes, I do. Listen,
Okay
I was
now.
there the
Okay
other day
now.
for brunch.
Okay
Me
now.
and my coworkers was over there for brunch or whatever.
Let me
But
find
it was
out
real
Lolo
good.
got some taste. Let me find out Lolo got some taste. Okay now. Go ahead.
But here's the thing: when she said, "I don't work for nobody, I don't nobody got nothing over me and shit," that attitude, right, is not an American attitude. Our attitude is you start it from the bottom and you keep your head down and you work your way up, as
Out
in
the mud.
moving out. So it's like you don't turn your nose up to a job. Like some people prefer jobs because they just don't want to be overly responsible for. Because let me tell you, most businesses fail. Okay, most jobs only fail when you don't show up. So the bet is better on the jobs. But our job market here is way better than anybody's job market in any Spanish country in the Americas, any third world country in Africa, any first world country in Africa, anywhere in Asia except for China and maybe some parts of South. But or let's shout out to Japan. Okay, shout out to y'all. Y'all are doing it up better than us. But we don't got to talk about that. I'm just saying, I'd rather have a job.
They are aliens. They are aliens at this point. I have seen this shit go on over there.
Yeah, they on
they
the
got
next shit.
vending machines that dispense hot noodles. Like, bruh.
That part.
With heated pork.
Not the heated pork. Now I take these. I don't do the pork. But see,
you already know. I'm just saying that's big over there. You know,
they got public bathrooms outside that it gets smoky when you come in, so you give you privacy, and it costs like 50 cents.
And
it's touchless.
Yep.
It's literally touchless, and I'm sitting here like, we don't have that here.
Yep.
So shout out to them out there for doing it big. But here's the thing: nobody out there is talking about, I don't want no job. I don't want a job. Fuck a job that's beneath me. The only people that think jobs are beneath them are these people from these third world countries that want to come here and tell themselves they're superior and shit. And we already know where that conversation is going.
So you don't think that it's more of us as American people that have that mentality? Consider we're the spoiled ones. I would think
not like that.
Oh wow.
Not like that. Not like that. Our Americans here will say, like for instance, like my son said, he didn't want to get a part-time job cooking food. He wanted a part-time job doing something that was more in line with what he wanted to do when he graduated from school. And he says, hey, I know how to code. I know how to work all sorts of AI systems at the background. He knows systems and signaling. He's like, I don't have to flip burgers. I can do something else. So he is turning his nose up at certain jobs, but not at having a job. Like, he ain't gonna work a job. He got to have his own. Like, no, it's American culture to create a job and create jobs for other people, and or have a good job. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. Seriously, even if you packing up packages of that white stuff, you giving jobs to other people. So, like, stop it.
Mm-hmm. White and green stuff. Facts.
That one.
Let's go ahead and get to this last one we're going to get into before I got this last little slight bonus one, because all of these, like I said, are short videos. I really want your take on this. All right. So this is a brother from here who has a question to ask. And let's listen to this brother's question. Let's get back to it. Hey, and again, shout out to Love's World, man. Shout out to Love's World. Y'all make sure y'all go over there and subscribe. Forgive me, beloved, if I didn't shout you out in the beginning. Shout out to Love's World. Let's go ahead and get to it. And with that being said, I digress. My mic is muted. The time right now is 8:40 p.m. East Coast Standard Time. Let's keep on rocking out.
Hold on. It's Solo. How you doing?
I'm fine. How you doing? Thanks for having me up.
Fine. What's your ethnicity?
I'm black. I don't know if that's politically correct.
Where your grandparents come from?
Let me ask you this before we get going on this. Lolo, you personally, if you were asked that question, what would be your response? Like, how do you? I mean, I know this is crazy. I can't believe I'm asking this question. How do you identify personally? Like,
if somebody says, "What is your ethnicity?" right, and they have an American accent, I know what they're asking me, and I'm just gonna say African American. That's the culture here. I'm not gonna say black, because black, it covers a lot of ethnicities. But if
it's
you
too
are a
vague.
foreigner,
That's too vague. It's too vague.
right, it's too vague. But when you American and somebody says, like on a podcast, "Hey, what's your ethnicity?" We know what we talking about, because that's our culture. We know what we talking about. Like I told you the story about the white guy that came from Africa that was just so gung-ho about like saying on his paperwork that he's African American now because he got his citizenship. Now he white as snow, literally white. Tell him he African American, and his wife tried to tell him no, it don't work like that here. No, it's not the same. Like no, like he would just be white, not African American, and he wanted to understand why can't he be African American? He from Africa and he in America, but that's not what ethnicity is here.
I see what you're saying.
I would have just said African American, but here's the thing: I noticed that the gentleman paused, like he didn't want to answer, and or he's thinking, and that tell me you're not African American.
No. It could have been the pressure because he might have been watching a show. He's heard that asked many times. I ain't gonna lie, because if I went up for the first time, I might possibly myself have that. Like, hold on, wait a minute, just to keep.
What's the ethnicity of these girls? What's the ethnicity of the girls?
I guess, listen, all right, how about this? I don't want to speak for them. I'm just going to say Black American FBA. I think these are folks that's like really on the FBA type.
So, I don't, it's a lot. It's a lot
and
of
that's
factions
just being
out
safe. That's being safe.
Okay. That we know what that is. It's a lot of different groups out here that's African American. But at the end of the day, okay, no matter what you call yourself, we know when we talking to our own. So if that's the case, there should be no hemming and hawing when somebody say, "What are you? What's your ethnicity?" Like here, everybody know first of all, nobody really asking you that here. We can look at you and hear your voice and tell what you are truly. But if somebody has to ask you that, it's in reality, it might be like in this case, it might be routine, or it's because they smell something else in your voice or on you. That's why she said, "Where your grandparents from?" Because our grandparents come from they foundational. But if your grandparents, like if your parents were born here, okay, fine. But when I ask you about your grandparents, which is like in the late 1800s, early 1900s, that tell me what your real ethnicity is when it comes to being African American. If your grandparents wasn't born here, you ain't one of us. I'm gonna be honest with you. You might have been married into the family or something like that, but you ain't really one of us.
Let's go ahead and keep listening. So now at this point, that was just a quick part. I'm gonna, I guess, pause it whenever you want me to after he fully asks his question. So let's listen to his question in its entirety. Whenever you want me to pause it, I got you, fam. Let's go.
My grandmother come from down south. My grandfather come from Virginia.
Oh, okay. You got a question to ask Black Americans?
Yeah, I do. I have a serious question to ask us. The main thing I want to ask is, at a time like today, right, when we know that across our whole, people would call it diaspora, but I would just say across our brown community, right, we have all of these different labels and all these different groups and all these different titles, entitlements, and we all are, let's just say, for lack of better terms, we all are the same, right? And everybody is, I'm FBA, or I'm African American, or I'm Negro, I'm, freedman, I'm all of these people collectively. If you look at them, they're your people, because I can tell you have all these people on your panel. Now, with that being said, if we all know that what we're saying is right, why are we attacking each other's knowledge, information, or experience, and not embracing each other's experience? Like, I know a lot of people that was in the American Indian community that worked with FBA members to bridge the gap. And I know a lot of members in the FBA community that did the same. But it's like some people that's coming out into the new young idea of FBA, like treating it like a gang while the older people was kind of like bridging the gap and making it understand it. And the same thing with the Pan-Africans. So, I mean, I just wanted to generally ask that to a couple of people up here, if that was cool.
Why is it that the elders was like, we are merging with the Africans, Haitians, Jamaicans, and any black? If you're my skin tone, then you are me. We go through the same struggles. He's trying to figure out why, Lolo, are we now, as the millennials and up, we're like, F that we realize it now, blah, blah, blah. Rock out.
So I want to address what he said about things seeming like a gang, right? It's interesting that he chose the word gang. And very interesting, because nobody calls, the small hat community a gang. Nobody calls the Italians a gang. Nobody calls the Serbs a gang. Nobody calls the Chinese, the way they be with each other, a gang. Even though they got gangs out here and over there. And like, nobody calls them a gang based on how they deal with each other. They do not allow no black person specifically to come into their ranks and tell them anything. Nothing. Period. Not about them. Not about what affects them. Not about their country. Nothing. So nobody says, y'all acting like a gang. Ain't we all human? Ain't nobody stupid enough to sit and say that to them. So when he chooses the word gang, that tells me you might not be telling the truth about your parents being from the South. You might not be telling the truth, because nobody from the South just calls black people gangs. The people that call black people gangs are the people who are not a part of that culture from that ethnic group. Call them gangs for being an ethnic group. When somebody asks you in a black conversation, what is your ethnicity? They're trying to gauge how they should engage with you. If you are FBA, African American, whatever, they're going to engage you as one of their own. But if you call in and you from Haiti, they're going to deal with you differently. And that's how it is in the world. You are not going to be from Burma and call into a Chinese podcast and think you about to start talking for or with China about what the hell they do in China and what Chinese people culture is. Not being from Burma, they're gonna ask you, "Hey, where your mother, your father from? Are you? Well, I don't hear your accent. Your accent, you sound like you Burmese." They're gonna start doing that shit.
Facts. That's a fact.
So this dude right here, I smell foreign on him.
Let's listen more.
I smell porn.
Let's listen more. All right, let's rock out.
Serious, like when we're talking about lineage, because now we got Tariq Nasheed who's doing his genealogy, but he hasn't found one African yet.
Catch it straight.
Wait a minute. Go ahead. Hold on, AI. Wait, okay, so you said like AI? You want to talk to AI?
Nigga, be direct, nigga.
You can unmute yourself, Solo.
Oh, I didn't know I was muted. I was still talking. So yeah.
AI up there. If you want to talk,
I know. Okay, so prime example, 05 and AI, y'all both I guess y'all feel strongly about helping the people, right? But I watch y'all a lot target or troll the people that we look at as y'all equals or y'all comparatives or y'all brothers in arms. But what I see is y'all kind of like taunting people with.
Are the Africans, Jamaicans, and Haitians our brothers in arms, Lolo? And sisters, brothers and sisters in arms.
I'm gonna be honest with you, right?
That's
a hard question, because that's a hard question, and I'll just say this, right? I'll just give you context. During the civil rights movement, you had Jews that marched alongside Martin Luther King, right? Because they felt like they had a similar struggle. Now, riddle me this. How did the largest slave owning group in America that owns the most of the slave ships. Why are they marching with the ex-slaves for equal rights? How did that happen? So when we say brothers in arms, not every brother in your arm is your brother, and not all skin is kin. And we have understood that more in the last 30 years than we've understood in the last 300 years.
Where I am, Lolo, is I've come to the point where I've recognized that the rest of the world is allowed to have whatever it is they want to have to themselves. I want you to look at it like that crowded hood house, in a sense, like that crowded house back when we were growing up type. You know, you got a bunch of cousins, aunts, and uncles. There's a lot of food that we would keep in the fridge, but there's a lot of little stuff like cereals, certain sodas, and everything else that we keep in our rooms. My point is, I do believe, if you can help see what I'm saying in the correlation, I believe that as inviting as we want to be, like, yeah, there's certain stuff in the fridge, but, you know, just note that there are certain things that I keep in my room. I might even get a mini fridge just to keep certain cold items in my room. I don't want you eating up my pack of bacon, my whatever it may be, right? So my point is that I do believe that we are at a point where, well, at least me, myself, to land it, I'm at a point where I'm like, look, I definitely respect the fact of us being like, nah, we need to just kind of keep everybody else out of some stuff, because we need to make sure that we can secure our own identification. You know, I heard a African woman stand up on the podium and speak to the world on Juneteenth and say that's also a Guyanan religion. I mean, a Guyanan like that celebration, like that's also us. And I ain't going front. Listen to me now. I don't even celebrate Juneteenth, but me knowing exactly what it means now, what it stands for, and everything, I'm like, how dare you? Can you imagine if me from DC said, yeah, because y'all gotta understand, like back during the days in DC when we was hustling and everything, we was really the inspiration for the Zulu tribe in Africa. Like, what do you think would be said to me? Like, no, really, because y'all gotta imagine, just like how we move and we dance and go-go's and stuff like that, you gotta understand, I'm trying to tell you, like it's not just the Zulu tribe, it's also us. That shit would not be stood for in no form of, it would be shut down so damn fast. So all I'm saying is, Lolo, is I definitely do agree with the fact of us like really clamping down on like, look, y'all gonna stop saying that, you know, anything we try to claim, y'all gotta have some kind of hand in it. We are never like, we can't have nothing. And even down to soul food, they like, damn, we ain't got nothing with that. Well, just call it trash. It's trash. It's garbage. Like, since they can't claim that, they gotta say it's trash. I can't stand no soul food. So it's like, I'm just saying, like, that shit be kind of like getting to me in that sense. But what you got?
I agree with you that there's some stuff, and I like the fact that you said some stuff that we need to leave out of the hands of the majority and talk about it in the framework of the truth of history. Now, let me tell you like this. Remember when the conversation of reparations came up? And remember on Fox News, they straight up said, we don't owe y'all nothing. We might owe African Americans something for slavery, but we don't owe none of the rest of y'all nothing. Oh, they know how to tell them, y'all are not these people here, and you will not be designated with benefits like that. So that's what FBA is about. That's what designation is about. It's not to say that slavery didn't affect other people in other countries that were slaves. However, it didn't get checked until we showed up. So if you're going to celebrate Juneteenth, you're going to celebrate Juneteenth the same way you celebrate what is the Cinco de Mayo. You're going to say it in our accent. You're going to give our scholars and our soldiers their due respect. That's what you're going to do on Juneteenth. What you're not going to do is say, this is a day for cultural celebration of freedom all over the world. No. Juneteenth is the day that we decided to create a holiday to represent our freedom. Let me tell you something. African Americans were free to some degree in the world, but the rest of the world had not caught up, and not at all. Let's be clear about that. So Africa was still practicing slavery. But like, come on. So let's stop doing this. Juneteenth is about freedom everywhere. No, it's not. It's about freedom in America. It's about the African American plight in America. That's what freedom is about. We did not free nobody that outside of America. Some people got inspired by us, sure, but we ain't free nobody. Not at all.
Got you. Let's go ahead and keep on listening, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see what we got. Let me know if you want me to pause it.
That's not having the same exact lineage as you, or I see people like trying to diminish other people's narrative as a joke, like how AI, when you got like 100 people in your life and you like lining up a whole bunch of Native Americans, Indians, black people, and just trolling and shit.
I'm sorry. I have no issue with giving the smoke back because the fact is the world dishes it to my people. So I don't want to hear shit about when we go ahead and basically give them a plate of what it is that they cooked up.
Get it, and it's entertaining for people that's not taking this serious. But if we all taking this serious, which I think y'all do, at what point are we going to work together? And the FBAs, the American Indians, the African Americans, the Pan Africans, and whoever else going to be all on the same page? Or we're going to keep letting them divide us and say this person is that person is this person. And I'm going to land with this. Tariq Nasheed finally is doing his genealogy because we've convinced him to do so, and he's not found an African yet. So all of his narrative about the transatlantic slave trade is questionable because he's been basing it off of his family, but he can't even show it in his family. And us as genealogists, that's what we've been trying to urge everyone to do. And a lot of people don't take that seriously. So given the fact that we take genealogy seriously.
I heard the deal. Lolo, that might be one of ours.
Yes, we take the record seriously. And we take the fact that we was reclassified from, hold on, let me turn this other phone down. It was reclassified from.
So wait. Pause him real quick.
Go.
Pause him. He said that Tariq Nasheed can't locate his ancestors, but he's locating his ancestors that was on slave ships, but not the ones that were here. Is that what I just heard?
Let me go ahead. I'm just going to give it a couple seconds back just to make sure. Let's go ahead and make sure that's what we heard.
We take the fact that we was reclassified from, hold on, let me turn this other phone down. It was reclassified from
wait a minute, hold on. I had to step away for a minute, but AI
further.
is here. But what was you?
Yeah, I know, I'm talking to him.
What?
I don't know. Did you go back far enough?
Yet. So all of his narrative about the transatlantic slave trade is questionable because he's been basing it off of his family, but he can't even show it in his family. And I see people like trying to diminish other people's narrative as a joke, like how AI, when you got like 100 people in your life and you like lining up a whole bunch of Native Americans, Indians, black people, and just trolling and shit. Like, I get it.
Pause it. You there?
I'm right here. Yeah, no, I paused it.
Oh,
No,
okay.
I can hear you. No, I'm right here.
No, okay.
I'm right here.
So here's the thing, right? I understand what he's saying now. What he's saying is when Tariq Nasheed did his genealogy, he couldn't find any of his family from Africa. Now, truth be told, when a lot of African Americans do their actual family genealogy, not that 23andMe bullshit, but their family history, you're going to find that most of us are not from Africa. People been saying that for years out here, that African Americans largely are not African in genetics. Like, yes, you can see that we have that closeness, but genetically we're further from Africa than Brazilians are.
The
like we're
genotype
further
is
from
not
them.
the same. The genotype.
Right. It's just not the same. It's further. So it's like, well, under the circumstances, right? I did my family history, right? And I went back 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 generations. No Africans at all. I found freedmen's though. I found
Was that in
ballads.
Virginia? Was
Like
that in
that.
Virginia? The Freedmen's? Was that in Virginia?
No, not just Virginia. No.
No. But it was some in Virginia.
Yeah, yeah,
No,
they were all
I
over.
actually have seen the same. No, I just want to say no. That's crazy. You say that. Keep going. Cause okay. Shout out.
So it's like I did my family genealogy and I went back as far back as 1805, 1790, and there are no and keep in mind slave ships was coming in here at that time from Africa. I can't find none. I find freedmen, I find a lot of things, but I don't find no Africans. So this is what I'm saying. We were designated as African Americans because of slavery from Africa, not because our genetics say, hey, you this is right here, right? Is where you're really from. That's not what that is. Even if you can find genetics that go back to specific tribes in your blood, right? It's not to say that your family haven't been mixed with, slaves from Africa. It's not what that's not saying. But to say, for instance, a white guy that one of his great grandparents was black, that don't make him black, yeah. Make him African because one African is in our history.
Hold on, Lolo. Your mic went out. Hold on. Fix your mic or something. I don't know. Is it mine? Say something, Lolo.
Can you hear me?
Yes. Okay. Nah, you know what?
Okay.
I just mic check 1 2. Say something one more time.
I can hear you.
All right. Nah, it's my headphones. Go ahead. You good.
So what I'm saying is, it's like I understand he's trying to say, well, if you can't find African in your family lineage, that don't make you African American. And he don't understand we were designated as African Americans by white people, okay, because of the slavery that they practiced up until 1805 or 1817. One on. So nobody took a DNA test and said, oh, Africans, that's not why that happened. So if you can't find African in your blood, truth be told, this is why people will prefer to call themselves foundational American, not African and shit like that. But I get the sentiment though. I ain't gonna act like I don't see it or I don't get it. I get it.
So look, this is one example that I would like to give before I push play. You can hear me, Lolo?
I can hear you.
Okay. On my mother's side, my grandfather, okay, like I've said before, he served in the Korean War. All right, so my mother's last name is Smallwood. I literally did the family background history. My mother's last name, maiden name, is Smallwood. So I had to look up where does that come from? Come to find out, that comes from, I believe it's the Monacan tribe. Yes, the Monacan tribe. All right, so listen, that's West Virginia.
Yeah.
My point is that her last name is Smallwood. My grandfather's last name is Smallwood. Do you know what my grandfather's last name was? I mean, my grandfather's father, my great grandfather's last name is when I looked it up?
What's that?
Little Tree. Little Tree. Do you know what his father's name is when I looked it up?
What was that?
Big Tree. Come to find out, they were chiefs.
I
That's
see
not
the names. Yeah, I see what you're saying.
small.
Yeah.
Yes. So
So those last names were actually us. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
my grandfather's great grandfather's name was Chief Big Tree. His son was named Littlewood, and then he named his son Smallwood. And that's how my mother got her last name. And you trying to tell
Yeah,
me that
I
come
can
from
see
Africa?
how that. I
Do
can
you
see
see?
how that came. Yeah.
That's how that worked. That actually comes the last name Smallwood. That's actually
Mhm.
Native American. That means it's
Right.
from here.
Right. I heard about that. One of my cousins told me about that. There's a last name, like surname list that if you try to find your name on it, a lot of times you can see that. Yeah, your name is on a list that ain't even American and shit.
Yeah. So yeah, that's not an American last name. So just to throw that out there. So again, when I say no, I'm from here. I'm from here.
She said, I'm from here.
Hey, like real talk though. But let's go ahead and get back to it because we got this last part after this I want to talk to you about because I haven't really talked about it and I want to hear your thoughts on it.
And it's entertaining for people that's not taking this serious. But if we all taking this serious, which I think y'all do, at what point are we going to work together? And the FBAs, the American Indians, the African Americans,
Oh yeah, that's B1. He said, "What y'all gonna do?" Anyway, let's go.
Pan Africans, and whoever else gonna be all on the same page, or we're gonna keep letting them divide us and say this person is that person is this person. And I'm gonna land with this: Tariq Nasheed finally is doing his genealogy because we've convinced him to do so, and he's not found an African yet. So all of his narrative about the transatlantic slave trade is questionable because he's been basing it off of his family, but he can't even show it in his family. And us as genealogists, that's what we've been trying to urge everyone to do. And a lot of people don't take that seriously. So given the fact that we take genealogy serious, we take the record serious, and we take the fact that we was reclassified from, hold on, let me turn this other phone down. It was reclassified from
Wait a minute, hold on. I had to step away for a minute, but AI is here. But what would you?
Yeah, I know. I'm talking to him. We talking.
I know, but
I want to talk to him.
We don't got to talk about Tyreek because Tyreek not here.
Oh, okay. All right, I respect that. So, yeah. Well, I guess I'll eliminate talking about the FBAs. I mean, the Pan Africans as well because they're not here. I don't even know if they exist. But
I want to say this, Lolo, and I want you to tell me your thoughts on this because I'm glad he said Pan African. I believe that we're the real split with us as Black Americans. I want you to just think about it. All of us as Black Americans, one day we split from, like, we went from fist up in the air. The revolution won't be televised. We went from that to we now gang as far as I'm FBA, as far as I claim here only. And then we had a subgroup of us that's like, nah, we're going to continue to go ahead. We need to move back to Africa, although we don't know what language we're going to speak. We don't know where we're going to move. We don't know who our aunts and uncles are over there, cousins or nothing. But let's go back to Africa, okay? So we had that whole Pan-African FBA split. I do believe once we came up with the term Pan-African and FBA, that's where the Black American divide really came into play. What's your thoughts?
I agree that there was an ideological shift at that time because some, Black Americans felt that they could get a better deal in another country where there was, all people that had the same skin as them. However, what we're noticing now is those Pan-Africans, a lot of them are coming back to America. A lot of them. And truth be told, you left here to ally yourself with a group of people that are riddled in tribalism. But when they see you being tribal, they want to call you a gang because that's a negative word within American culture. They call you a gang, but they don't want to call the Zulu Nation a gang, given all the bloodshed from the Zulu Nation in South Africa.
No. Wait. Before you go even further, for some reason, we had something for the longest time before a game was called mobs. And they get all kinds of glorification. Rock out, though.
But my thing is, if it's not fair to call us a gang as if there's some illegal activity going on because we don't feel the need to include people in our tribal business that ain't part of our tribe. This idea of, well, they trying to keep us apart and we need to work together with such and such. That's somebody who don't understand world politics. That's somebody that's ignorant on U.S. politics. So it's like, I don't even waste my time with people who talk like that. The idea of we need to work with a lot of ethnic groups, a lot of racial groups. We do already. What are we not doing that we should be doing? Drilling oil? Is that it? Like, what are we supposed to do? Like, we are American. Americans own all sorts of oil around the world. What have we not done? Oh, you mean instead of seeing ourselves as American, you want us to see ourselves as a specific tribe and do what you tell us to do?
Last time I checked, Lolo, even back when we were coming up, our movies and entertainment depict us doing this.
I'm black, y'all, and I'm black, y'all, and I'm blacker than black, and I'm black, y'all, and I'm black, y'all, and I'm black, y'all, and I'm blacker than black, and I'm black, y'all.
That was not an American medallion on his chest. I wonder what country that was on that black man from America's chest. I wonder what countries. Hold on. I wonder what country's flag that was.
I'm black, y'all, and I'm black, y'all, and I'm blacker than black.
Was that American?
No.
What were we? All right. So I digress. My mic is muted.
But see, that's the hypocrisy. Back when African Americans weren't seen as cash cows, everybody wanted to play the tribal game and say, no, these Americans, they are not Africans. No. And then now that we the cash cow, now everybody got to be America, to the point you got your mans over there talking about our accent is their accent. Like, that was a reach. But I'm just saying, I can't take these people seriously. You see what I'm saying? Because it's like African Americans, for all intents and purposes, we have came further than any group in the world in terms of from the bottom to the top. Facts. We've come further than anybody. I don't care if most of us are middle class or under middle class. We're better than a lot of people in other countries. And all the time, we are compared to the best from every country versus regular people from it. Like, if you compared our regular people in America, right, in the ghettos, to the ghettos in, let's say, Senegal. Are you fucking kidding me? There's no comparison. They're not educated. Those people there don't have the same level of intellect. Their workmanship ain't the same. It's like there's no comparison. But you want to compare the people that's coming from Senegal that got masters and PhDs to everyday African Americans and say, you people don't want to work hard. Well, your whole country don't want to work hard.
God dang it, Lee. The only thing I have to say behind that before I push play is...
Wait, you think I didn't think of that? Of course I thought of that.
Let's go.
But what I'm trying to say is, as a speaker, as a teacher, as a leader, I would expect more from some of us when it comes to the rest of us, because I know that I hear, like Oprah.
How much more do you expect us to give when we have been behind the 8 ball since we've been giving it?
Like Oprah. A lot of people don't like Oprah because stuff that he said, did, and Oprah's my...
What you say, Lolo?
Nah, go ahead.
All right, yeah.
I got you.
As well.
And Oprah's like my brother for real, right? And I go fight and I defend Oprah, even though we don't have the same values. I'm just thinking, where's the rest of that amongst the rest of us? And I don't mind showing my genealogy. My tree goes back beyond the 1600s.
Hold on, AI, do you want to respond to any of this?
I don't know what to respond to because he ain't say nothing.
That's what I'm trying to figure out what's going on here.
It just sounds like his feelings.
I said you ain't got nothing to respond. I ain't say nothing.
Hold on. What God?
You said I ain't say nothing, bro. You ain't hear what I said. Then
let me try to understand, nigga. It sounds like your feelings. It sounds like I hurt your feelings one day.
I'm good. You ain't hurt mine. I'm good.
And you know what? And you know what? I apologize if I talk about that feather that you put in your head, nigga.
Right.
My
Once
bad.
again,
nigga.
I said not taking serious to other people's lineage, and this is
know
what they
why-
do.
hold on,
You downplaying.
wait,
You're not,
hold
it's
on,
not
hold
me.
on.
He
It's
was
not me.
quiet. He was quiet while you sat there and rambled for 2 minutes. Hold on, Solo. Let him speak. Go ahead.
Right. Yeah, I don't have a problem with you
You say something, Lolo?
No, I'm listening.
the wearing niggas. I mean, it is what it is. I don't say that we not indigenous, but the problem is when you try to make that the whole conversation, and that's the problem. Don't make that the whole conversation because we're not there anymore. We're in a new society right now, handling these current problems in front of us. If you want to go outside and wear a feather and do the rain dance, nigga, that's on you, nigga. That ain't got nothing to do with me, and I don't care if you do it or you don't do it. Yeah, you mad because I hurt your feelings, and you're not even asking a direct question. I'm not against you or what you're saying, but hold on, right? But hold on, but I'm just saying if you gonna do the rain dance, go ahead, nigga. I'm not stopping you.
What he's saying about the rain dance is, Lolo, if you consider yourself as only from here, and if you don't want to connect with the rest of the blacks around the world, I guess, then
just don't make that the conversation on my panel.
Right.
That's
black
all I'm
means
saying.
African, right? So black means African. Tariq is FBA. Y'all making us African. And when people talk about their genealogy, y'all downplay it.
Black don't mean African, though. Respect my room and not talk about. If you want to talk about, you know who, open up you a panel and do it. But I don't want you to
forget Tariq. Forget.
You know what? You know, see, and then you want to be the victim, but I gotta drop you because you ain't respecting my panel in my room.
So this right here, Lolo, is something that I mean, I don't know if anybody's kept up on my channel. Not you, I'm talking to the audience as far as like I haven't really talked about this Carmelo case too much. Excuse me, I've made like a video or whatever, but I ain't even gonna front y'all. I'm just one of those people where it's like, as a content creator, like I always like to stand out because that's how I am in real life. So if it's something that everybody is just like live after live, cut after cut doing, I'm gonna wait a little bit, then I'm finally gonna do my thing, right? So I wanna this is the very last one from this right here, right? So let's go ahead and get it kicked off. Lolo, first and foremost, let me ask you this one question before I push play. Now on this one, we're not going to listen to the whole anything. I really am only going to play what this person had to ask. All right, so this is a Spanish person that had a question about the Carmelo case. Okay, so I want to ask you this qualifying question first, Lolo. It is believed in a certain sector and group of folks in society in America that if you actually, I guess, speak up for Carmelo, if you want to say, then you're defending a criminal. What is your thoughts on that first?
Well, one, people got a right to think what they want to think and take whatever side they want to take. Whether somebody is a criminal or not is, as my fiance say, that's God's business. You don't know what happened. You know what you've been told, and you could have been lied to by so many different factions. You don't know. You just don't. You know what you feel. You know what you believe, and that's it. And everybody have a right to agree or disagree on who's right, who's wrong, what laws are good and what laws are bad. Everybody has a right to that. So the idea of you're defending a criminal, well, one has to agree that he is a criminal and then say, I agree with criminals. But to date, I haven't heard anybody say that. I haven't heard any. What I've heard is just the opposite. I've heard people feel that he was not a criminal and thus they support him. I haven't heard anybody say, yeah, he's a criminal and I support him. I have never seen that or heard that since this whole situation kicked off. So for people who feel that people, because it ain't just black people that agree or disagree about this, I think they over the top, honestly, and I don't think that they're able to have cohesive conversation because maybe they're tied to this case in a personal way that's not so obvious. Like me, I'm a big defender of the innocent from bullies. I don't like bullying. And, being the bully's bully is a real thing. Not because people don't have a right to live, but we don't got time for that bully shit. And the thing is, I get what the other side says, as far as like the criminal aspect of it, right? Do we have a law against causing people not to be breathing anymore? Sure, we do. But the laws are like strong suggestions. It's almost like, sure, we got laws against killing people, but if you kill somebody in pursuit of protecting someone else, that's not a criminal. If you kill somebody to defend an innocent person that would have died, that is not a crime. If you kill somebody defending yourself, that's not a crime. Like, I can go on and on. Now, if you kill somebody because you're in the military, that's not a crime. It like, seriously. So I would just say with caution.
Delete, Lolo. Delete.
Okay. I would just say with caution.
Mm-hmm.
I would just say with caution that if you cannot hear somebody else's position and maintain your own integrity, that means that there's a part of whatever happened that it's really who you are. Like, if you feel like Carmelo was correct, right? There's a part of you that has went through that experience or something similar, and you see yourself in that position. If you feel like, the Metcalf boy had every right to do everything he did, right? There's a part of you that like connects with that type of behavior. I know for me, and I'll say it proudly, I don't connect with that, largely because I come from a culture in an area of America where we don't have laws to protect people that do that. We don't. And, we don't have stand your ground here. You know what I mean? That whole black and white thing ain't but so, it ain't the same. Like, we don't have these types of laws here. You see what I'm saying? So I can't really connect with a culture where it's totally different and they judging crime differently. I can't connect with it. So that's why I can agree or disagree on certain things and still maintain my integrity without losing somebody else's. But I respect people's right to disagree. I do.
All right. So let me go ahead because I have like a line of questions. That's about 5 questions, short questions. Okay. So the first question is this. Should Carmelo's family have went on ahead and accepted should they have accepted when Austin Metcalf's dad, Jeff Metcalf, came over to their conference? And I know you know about that when he got kicked out. Do you believe that was part of a determining factor of why they did rule how they did? Because it's like, you should have been a little more kind. And when he came to try to say, hey, we both, have our kids going through something. I didn't come here on no harm. What's your take on that?
I'll say this. I would hope that a jury did not convict somebody based on what their parents did in the press conference.
Okay.
Like, I would hope that the South, Texas, wouldn't do no dumb shit like that. I would hope so. I would hope that ain't the case, especially on no child. I hope so. Now, I don't have nothing more to say about that because I don't know, but that's my hope. as far as the Metcalf father being at the press conference, he can be wherever he want to be. But it's quite interesting that when his family gave a press conference about what happened, Carmelo's family wasn't afforded like the other side of the story. Like when they interviewed his mother and he was crying with the other brother and they did several interviews and stuff online, the news people didn't say, now let's cut to the Anthony family and see what they have to say. That wasn't the case. So it's like I don't think it was wise for either side to be at the other's press conference unless the news media is doing a split screen sort of situation where they showing you both sides. I don't think nobody should have been at the other parties' events. I feel like that's political suicide.
And last but not least, before we move forward, and I'm gonna push play. Do you believe, yes or no only on this part, and I'm gonna let you elaborate after this guy asks his question, are we defending a criminal? Lolo?
Oh, I thought you was asking me that question to answer after he speaks.
No. I'm asking you this part, then I have a second part question after. First, yes or no only. Is anybody who says he should not have, that's it. Just the plain fact of 35 is when that was a bit much for his background. Yes or no?
Yeah, I agree that 35 years is a bit much for him being a child, and then the level of crime that it wasn't like he plotted to murder him in no coordinated way, similar to other cases I could point to. I do think that was excessive. However, again, Texas is a different animal, and
it's like the American version of Australia. It's like Australia in America. I get it. I know.
Yeah, it's hard for me to say. And here's the thing, I don't like saying criminal because we've all done some criminal shit. Just so happens we didn't get caught for it. Like, it's a lot of dudes out here listening to my voice right now that then stabbed somebody up and that person didn't get up and they put their body someplace else. Okay? Like, seriously. Like, so for somebody to say, oh, well, he's a criminal. Well, we all are criminals in that sense. We've all done criminal things. Some of us did get caught, and then we managed to weasel our way out of it. Other of us didn't get caught, and we still managed to weasel our way out of it. I can't, put myself out there, but let me tell you something. At the end of the day, if you want to judge your sin against somebody else's sin, don't do that. Don't act like what you did was a small thing and it's cool because you didn't do something else. But then on the flip side, now we can compare you to somebody else and now you're wrong as hell going to hell. Like, let's not do that, because I'm gonna be honest with you. When you read the scripture, it seemed like who you had sex with might be a harder crime than, deleting somebody. That's just me. So, in my opinion, nobody's defending anybody that they feel is wrong. Everybody feels like the person that they are talking about is right. So I can't say that.
Oh, my bad. I was on mute. So let's go ahead and push play on this. With that being said, I digress. My mic is muted. The time right now is 9:29 p.m. East Coast Standard Time, and I thank you all for tuning in. We're going to listen to the question, and then we're going to see what we got. Let's go.
Okay, let's get to Mando. Let's go ahead. So, Mando, how you doing?
Hey, what's up, guys?
What's your ethnicity?
I'm Jewish and Greek.
Okay.
Hold it together, Lolo. Hold it together. It's not Vagoda.
Did you have something to add to the conversation?
I just think the kid Carmelo was just sort of like a coward.
Go on.
Well, I grew up in pretty tough neighborhoods. You just got to fight. That happens every day. 3 people come up to you and they start telling you don't go stabbing because you're going to be put away. Or poking anybody, you're going to be put away.
So you think, Mando, that in a state where you get to protect yourself, you think he should have sat there 130 pounds? I think he was 5'10" or something like that. The twins were 6'2", 6'4", something like that, 230 each, and plus a couple of other people while he's sitting on bleachers in the thundering rain. You think he should have sat there and fought all those people?
Yeah, that actually happened to my son playing football. The linemen were bullying him, and he stuck up. He fought back, and eventually, things turn out pretty good as long as you're not poking anybody.
Let's get through this. Lolo, what you got?
If Carmelo would have been fighting with this boy, right, and he would have pushed the boy back, let's just say he pushed him back, and the Metcalf boy would have fell back, right, hit his head on the 90-degree angle of one of them bleachers, right on his temple, and would have died right there, we'd still be here. So the question is not about cowardice. It's really not. It's about his level of fear that his life was in danger. And I think the fact that, like he said, I grew up in a tough neighborhood. Carmelo didn't grow up in a tough neighborhood. Does he get a pass? No, he don't get a pass because he didn't grow up in a tough neighborhood. And he didn't get that kind of, screening so that he could fight people 2 and 3 times his size, multiple people at the same time, gang fights. Now a small hat want to sit and act like you better know how to fight. I ain't never met one of them that knew how to fight. Every one of them keep that thing on them. 50 states. Make no mistake about it. When you walk onto their property, if you on their property and their children are there, listen, I used to babysit certain types of money. They got more ammo than what you are willing to reasonably agree that they should have here in America. Okay. So this idea that, you just should have fought a gang back, a dude that is twice your size back. Get the fuck out of here. You walk up to people in my city, in Baltimore, 5 deep, 3 deep. Let me tell you something. You remember the white boy that cut that man's head clean off in Baltimore?
Facts.
You know why he cut his head off, right? Because it was dark.
I don't know that part, but I know the story about it. I don't know the back.
It was dark, and he was in the wrong house. That's why he got his head cut off. You were in the wrong house, 2 a.m., and it's dark, nigga. We don't know why you here. You could be here trying to get some food out the trash can. We don't know. But you got your head chopped off. Listen, the black folk up here fought hard for that white boy to get off. You know why? Because that's the culture here. You don't go up in nobody's spot and violate somebody and think they're supposed to try to keep you alive. That ain't what happens. If you want to stay alive, stay out of people's face. That's where we at with that. So it's interesting.
Well, goddamn it, Jim. Let's listen.
I had something to say. I'm sorry. Excuse me. You do know that I don't think that people understand that Carmelo has epilepsy. So I'm sure he was thinking about not having put himself in a situation to where he has a medical emergency. Like, fighting for some people with epilepsy will cause them to have seizures. You can pass away from a seizure as well.
Well, what's your thoughts on that part, Lolo? As I
will say she's correct. She's correct about the epilepsy part. Somebody fighting multiple people or what have you, in a situation like that with epilepsy, that sheer excitement of being hit in the head per se or falling, he could go into a situation there. And I'm gonna be honest with you. You know, I train in martial arts. The last thing you want to be is incapacitated on the floor where somebody could literally put your lights out because you can't fight back. That's the last thing you want to do. So if he knew that, let me take the small hat man words. He was too much of what they call a coward to sit and fight while being sick. You're right. He didn't feel the need to fight the sickness and prove shit. But what he did say is what everybody feels. Don't put your hands on me. That's what's called a conditional threat here in Maryland. You do not go to jail. Nobody gives a fuck about a conditional threat. If you pass that condition that they said, that's going to be the reason why you get off. When you give people a conditional threat, meaning don't walk across my house threshold or else. Now, nobody knows what the or else is, right? That's a threat, but that's called a conditional threat. You can do that here in Maryland. And if the person violates that, now we're in different territory. But in Texas, whole different ballgame. So again, like, he's a coward based on what state? What state is that? I don't know. It takes some guts to do what he did, like, for real.
Texas,
and here's the thing.
Texas, I think. Well, he's in Texas, Texas.
I don't know if he grew up anywhere else. I don't know if they from anywhere else. But this right here is not something that I would expect from these people. I wouldn't expect that. Like, I just wouldn't. But it's like, I like how these children are not being looked at as children. Like, it's unfortunate that one child is doing one thing and then it causes the other child to be afraid and do something else. But any person that is afraid for their life is going to strike out. If you corner an animal, they're going to strike you first. So what happens? Are we not intelligent animals almost? Like, what's going to happen? So I don't like the fact that we overextend maturity and legal knowledge to a child when it's convenient, but for other people, adults even, we're not that vigilant. I don't like that. I do understand that the Metcalf family lost their child, but like I've told several people since this began, if you raise your child to not understand the limits, you're the one that is, you the reason why your child ain't breathing. My child, no, don't put your hands on nobody. And if somebody put their hands on you, you make sure you meet that with equal force. And if they got something more than what you got, you allow them to take whatever they is, but don't allow them to take your life. My sons know that. And they trained to handle stuff. And I'll be honest with you, if he would have did the same thing with his bare hands, which is something I know a lot of men, at least around me, know how to do. If he would have did the same thing with his bare hands, they would have gave that boy 75 years.
So this is my main thing before we go ahead, and I appreciate you for gracing the stage before we get ready to wind it down. Now I want to get to the point of this last question before I play this slight clip, and I just want your personal opinion on it because for some reason it's dismissed. So one, I want to ask you this. What do you think were the main key factors that were let's say flaws in his defense as far as like legally, his legal defense? Like, do you think the lawyers really did something wrong, how people say, or do you believe it really was just, they just got him off technicalities?
I can't speak to what the lawyer did or didn't do because I haven't read any transcripts. Actually, I've only heard what the lawyer didn't do or didn't say. I don't really know that for a fact. However, what I will say is, from the people who have done the proper research, the lawyer missed a lot. I'm not gonna say what he did, and I'm gonna say he missed a whole lot. Like conflict of interest on this case was everywhere. Everywhere.
Okay.
And that right there is like an obvious thing. Like if you look up past events, past court cases, past criminal activities of each person involved. Like for instance, if you're gonna bring a witness up, right? You're gonna dig into their past and make sure they're clean. You're not just gonna bring a witness up and then the other attorney just tear them down based on character. You're gonna test the character before you put them up on the stand. But from what I'm hearing, and of course I could be wrong, but from what I'm hearing, Carmelo's attorney did the bare minimum. And what I'm seeing is a bunch of people who didn't spend 2 hours in law school doing more than this lawyer got paid over $100,000 to do, or up to $100,000 to do. And that right there is unprecedented.
Okay. So this is where I am with it, right? I'm going to name what everybody speaks about when it comes to Carmelo. They say school grounds, right? Is that correct? They say he brought a knife on school grounds.
Yeah,
And,
yeah.
Okay, so a knife on school grounds, and he stabbed, he poked up another student, unfortunately. Okay, and he only did it one time, and that was it. Okay, so what I'm gonna do, Lolo, I'm gonna play this video, which you're already hip about, but I want to ask you about this. So I want us to listen to what this man did. And I want you to tell me, do you believe that there's any form of, I don't know whether it's racial discrepancy and or whether there's just, is it really just because it's another state? Like, what's the reason why this took place?
Who abused his son during a live broadcast. In 1984, 11-year-old Jody Plauché was taken and abused by his karate instructor, Jeff Doucet. After days of searching, Jody was rescued and Doucet was captured and brought back from Los Angeles to Baton Rouge. But there was someone else waiting for Jeff Doucet to be brought to justice. Jody's father, Gary Plauché, filled with anger and over what his son had suffered, Gary hid at the air while television cameras were broadcasting Doucet.
Hey, can you hear me?
I'm right here.
Okay, it seems like there's a extreme lag when I speak. I need to pause to ask you, what is the last names of the child and the teacher here?
Let me rewind it. You know what? Hold on. No, I ain't gotta go that far back. Just right here. Yeah, right there. Let's go.
But you know what? That isn't what happened. Now, I'll give you this example right here. Why don't you take a look at this case?
This man killed the man who abused his son during a live broadcast. In 1984, 11-year-old Jody
Doucet, Plauché, and Doucet. The abductor
Hold on.
was
Yeah. Your broadcast was going in and out. What are the two last names?
All right. Can you hear me clear?
I can hear you.
Plauché is the family. Doucet is the abductor. Doucet and Plauché.
That's an interesting coincidence. I bet you they related. But go ahead.
After days of searching, Jody was rescued and Ducey was captured and brought back from Los Angeles to Baton Rouge. But there was someone else waiting for Jeff Ducey to be brought to justice. Jody's father, Gary Plauché, filled with anger and helplessness over what his son had suffered, Gary hid behind the payphones at the airport. While television cameras were broadcasting Ducey being escorted by police live, Gary pulled out his gun and shot him in the head. The incident was captured second by second. Jeff Ducey died shortly after from the gunshot wound. Gary Plauché was declared a hero across much of America because in their eyes, he had personally delivered justice to his son's abuser. Gary Plauché was sentenced to 7 years, suspended imprisonment, 5 years probation, and 300 hours of community service. Thus, he was released without spending a single day in prison.
My bad. I was talking on mute. Nobody wants to acknowledge it, and I get it. I'm really making a comparison because I get no. So what does that have to do with anything? There's a direct indication of what it is I'm showing. So when I asked you those questions, I said he had just a knife, right? Let's just cut all of it was a work utensil. Let's just say it was a knife. Okay, cool, knife. School grounds, let's just say, okay, or that 35 years. This man literally tracked down, so he has premeditated as one. All right. He literally shot. Okay, so we go from knife to gun, right? So now he has an actual pum. And he goes to the airport, school grounds, airport. And people want to act like I'm saying something that's completely off. School grounds, airport. And in front of the police while being transported in handcuffs, hides behind the phone, premeditatedly, again, might I add, and pums the guy right in the head and gets no time. What are your thoughts, Lolo? What's the difference there?
The difference, well, it's strange because both involve children, but I would say that the difference is people's perspective on child abusers, like sexual. I was going to ask you, was there allegations of sexual abuse?
Yes. Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Yes.
That is one of, if not, I think that was classified as a heinous crime. So for heinous crimes, that's above anything that anybody can judge. So you kill, if you take justice into your own hands, when a small child specifically under the age of 12 has been sexually assaulted, most jurors, I'm not talking about the court system, most jurors are not going to feel that the law covers you. They're going to feel good riddance. That is something that's been the case for a very long time. So it doesn't matter if this case was even in Texas or whatever. It doesn't matter what state it's in. Most people are not going to put dad in prison, in jail.
So we have a difference. So we don't have the same perspective. So we have, I'm going to say it. So basically what you're saying is in the eyes of society that children even come over self-preservation itself. Like, so if your case is you were trying to self-preservate by all means necessary, that does not equate. Okay. And I will say, yes, women and children first. So I get it because that is what's said in society. And that is what I live by myself. I'm just thinking to myself as far as like the totality of the sentencing.
Well, you're correct on the totality of the case. However, jurors are not there to enforce the law. They don't care about the law. They care about, do they feel what happened was right to happen to the person? And that's a heavily on the word feel, okay? Not do they find that the law says. Do they feel that you deserve to be shot in the head for sexually abusing that child? And 99.99999% of the time they do. So that's going to be perceived differently than
With
two
me, it's
teenagers in a fight.
100.99.99
She
after
said
the 100. Yeah, I
100.99999.
mean, so I get it. As a father, I get it. Yep.
Yeah.
See, my thing is, Lolo, do you believe that from the jump, the actual instant itself was going to be charged as racially motivated, or do you believe after the family, both sides, the families interview, the racially motivated charge began, or was it the actual boom from the moment?
Well, okay. So let's go back to the guy who pew the other guy in the head, right? And let's make the point from that standpoint.
Okay.
So if you look at cases where a black father attacked their child's sexual abuser, and you compare how many jurors felt that father shouldn't do any time in jail, I bet you're gonna see a hard disparity. I bet you that.
Facts.
Now that would be a better comparison to see racial bias than, let's say, between that, and even though the same elements are there, but I'm talking about the unspoken elements. That would be a better comparison to show that no, even in 2026, there's a racial bias towards white men that protect their sons than black men. Black men are generally going to be seen as criminals, right, for defending their children's sexual abuser versus white men. You're gonna find that. Same thing with with the poking. You're gonna find that most black teenagers that do that serve time in jail, lots of it. But then when you look at white people, though, it's not going to be the same level of jail time or even jail conviction. It's going to be some cockamamie, something else. So I would think it would be a better comparison to look at cases where it's the same specific crime being done, like the same specific crime being done, and then see where we land with that. Because I get what you're saying. How is it that, first of all, carrying that tool or knife onto school property, it goes against policy, but that's not against the law. You see what I'm saying? It's against school policy to wear skirts too short, but it's not against the law to wear a mini skirt. It's just not. So, I mean, we can argue the minutia of, well, you should or shouldn't do some shit. Listen, a lot of people go against policy on a lot of things, but what we're not going to do is argue minutia when it's about whether or not somebody's life should be taken. Like, I think the small stuff is besides the point. But didn't you do a comparison with a similar story with another child? Or am I tripping?
Hold on. Are you talking about like as far as, and hold on, and what category wise? Because I can tell you off rip if I did. I know all my stuff.
Well, I thought you did a review of a story with somebody else who had stabbed somebody in another state and in Texas.
Yes. I know what you did. I know what you're talking about. And you know what? It was at a high school. Oh man, I would have to go. Yeah, I would have to go through. You know what? Just because you said that, now I'm gonna hold myself accountable. I'm saying it on this live just to hold myself accountable because I watch my replays. I'm gonna do a recap of that, and I'm gonna make a remix comparison to the Carmelo case in that exact video you talking about. And I'm even going to clip it.
I think that it's not comparable.
It was at a high school, yeah, and he was getting bullied, and it was like some gang. It was like some gang kids and stuff. It was like some gang stuff, and it was in Texas and everything. You are absolutely right. I don't know if it was a video or live, but I'm going to figure out between the two. I'll get it done.
I was going to say that I think to compare the Carmelo case to anything but minors, and then using like a knife versus anything else on school grounds, it creates a different level of bias, because what we're going to start doing, right, is comparing school policy to federal code. Like that's like now we're going to start comparing, for instance, somebody that has a pocket knife to somebody with a whole tool under their belt. Like, no, like, and we're going to be comparing an adult in most cases to a child, which is another problem. So that's why I have a big problem with the comparison factors if it's not under the same circumstances, because it gives room for people to kind of like make excuses on both sides. Yeah, and I'll be honest with you, right? When it comes to situations involving children doing adult things, right? I understand why there's the issue of children being tried as adults. I understand that. However, that's a highly slippery slope. It's real slippery slopish, and honestly, I know where the root of it is. And I feel like because of the root of it, it shouldn't be used as a slippery slope. But if a child commits a heinous crime, and there's heinous crimes out there, right? Maybe we can compare to that. Like, let's say he got 35 years, right? Let's compare it to a whole nother crime. Let's say a 17-year-old dismembers, let's say sexually assault somebody and dismember their body, right? How many years did they get for that? Let's just see where it's at, what type of crimes it is. Because again, different states, different things, different ways they view it. So, you know, that would be a better way to say, okay, well, when it comes to children committing crimes, right? Like, if a child does something out of fear versus sheer drive to just see what the fuck it feels like to see somebody bleed out, this is what the sentencing and, you know what I mean, or everything, this is how it play out. That would be a better comparison.
That makes sense. That makes sense. Now, I'm just going to give you the icing on the cake, and we're getting up out of here. This is 30 seconds of definitely somebody I know you love to listen to. So I want you to listen to what this guy has to say, Lolo. So let's go ahead and get to it. All right. Yep, there go your boy.
Under the jail. So don't be like Carmelo Anthony. And all I would hear in the comments is just wait until the footage comes out. You'll see that you're wrong. He was attacked. They jumped him. They did this. They did that. And of course, the video comes out and none of that happened. Carmelo Anthony even said it himself.
Carmelo states very clearly twice, I told him not to put his hands on me.
Oh shit. That's it right there. He didn't get jumped. He put his hands on me. So now all the ignorant people that was running around saying he was trying to defend himself, he was going to get jumped, are looking dumb. You would think there's nothing else to argue about, right? Wrong. Now that they don't have a leg to stand on, they're coming at me with this, Mr. Let Go, you're not on code. And then a friend of mine said this to me too. And I'm like, what the fuck is this on code shit? And then it dawned on me, even though I'm from the hood, just like everybody else, why am I?
Smitty, pause, Mr. Let Go. Pause.
Go ahead.
Now, I'm going to take it back to something I said about 30 minutes ago. He's talking about him getting jumped. He's saying he did not get jumped, i.e., he only had an altercation with one person. That's what he's saying. However, in the state of Texas, you do not need to get jumped to be afraid of getting jumped. And getting jumped by two or more people is life-threatening. Please don't have a medical condition. Now we're talking. So this is what I'm saying. So it's like when he says, well, he didn't get jumped. He even said that he did it. I don't give a damn what he said or didn't say. At the end of the day, if he feared for his life, he don't have to. No, you don't even got to put your hands on people in Texas. Present yourself like a threat. Texas law says if I believe you about to do something to me, I don't have no duty to retreat. So in this situation, In this situation, who has a duty to retreat? Who? The person being approached or the person doing the approaching? Which one? This is why I don't like taxes. This is why. But at the end of the day, Mr. Let Go is standing in a very precarious position as someone of his hue. Because at the end of the day, if you will afford somebody who's not a child or a child like him, let's just say George Zimmerman, he thought he was gonna die. He thought it, even though I have never seen anybody die from being pushed on the ground like that, because they were on grass. Like, I seen the grass underneath of them. It's like, you could have rolled that boy off.
Say it again, Lolo. Your mic went out. Your mic went out, Lolo. Come back to the mic or something.
Can you hear me?
Yes, now I can.
I was saying that I forgot what I was saying per se, but what I'm getting at is Mr. Let Go is making again a comparison to say he did not get jumped. He didn't get jumped, but it was a bunch of niggas standing around him, and even I could look at it and tell, I can't tell who out there. Them boys came in with more than one person with them. They all sitting next to each other. They all look like they homeboys. This don't look like no peaceful situation. 3 niggas walk up to me like they want to fight. Let me tell you something. Don't ask me what's next. He talking about something. He told him, touch me and see what happened. You know what I'm about to tell somebody? If you walk up to me and I perceive that you trying to do some crazy shit to me, you want to know what I'm going to say? Listen. That is not it. You still there, Smitty?
Not yet. No, on my bad. I was saying you went out again. Go ahead. Say that last
No,
part
I'm
again.
back. I'm saying they up here talking about he said touch me or see what happened again. Don't touch me no more. At the end of the day, that's what it is, whether he say it or not. He don't have, there is no, you have to let someone touch you in Texas. There's none of that. In Maryland, they're going to say, well, did they touch you? Yeah, but in Texas,
where we at?
Ain't nobody about to ask you, did they shoot first before you shot? No, they're gonna say, did you feel like you were threatened? Yes. Okay, let's go to the next case. But suddenly we dealing with this. Like, no, man.
So last but not least, as far as a question, and this question is basically your final thoughts. So your final thoughts / question. With his track record, you as a mom, because I don't think this is something that's asked to a lot of mothers. Carmelo's track record, I'm talking about the saving the kid, everything. How would you feel, or, what would be your thoughts considering the world is trying to paint your son to be basically a Chicago serial driller, and this is the only incident he's ever had in his whole life, and your baby, but the world, like, you're the one at home looking at stuff on Twitter and everything, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, and the world is painting your baby is this. And like this boy ain't been in no more than 1 or 2 fights his whole life, and didn't even start the other 2 that happened. But go ahead, though.
As a mother, I don't care what the world thinks of my son. I just don't care. Now, if someone's lying on my son, of course, that's not going to go unchecked. Now, I'll be honest with you, I'm wondering what's going on over there with that. But that's how I would deal with it.
Right.
As a mother, I'll say this to, the Metcalf mother. It's unfortunate to lose one of your children. Very unfortunate. And no one can soothe that missing piece in your heart. However, if there's a lot of people, a lot of women who raise sons that they love to death, but their sons are actual people who go around deleting people. We call them serial, KILLERS. They love their sons too, just as much. There's women their sons are accused and guilty of sexual assault on a minor under the age of 12.
And they still put money on the phone and send commissary and do visits once a month. I know
that part. So are we going to say that this mother shouldn't defend her child? No. She shouldn't support her child? I'm not going to say that. The only thing I can say is, as a grown woman, if you raised your son to be a man and he put himself in a situation against the way you raised him and or your advice, you have to eat that as a mother, that your son, whatever the case may be, your son did this to himself. You have to eat
But
that.
are you still there for him, even though you know he has to eat it? Like, I'm gonna be real with you. Watch this. It's so funny you say that. Rest in peace to my father. But he was the only one. Now, mind you, I swear on life, I don't love either one of my parents, either different. But when I was going through, and you know my story, Lolo, when I was going through my whole bid and everything, my mother came to not one court day. I've told the story, she wrote me off. My mother wasn't there, and it wasn't because she didn't love me. It was because she was that disappointed. Like, I did not raise you like this. Your father there for you, she was awesome. You lucky you got your father. I swear on life, I'd have gone through that whole thing damn near by myself if it wasn't up together and reclaim the name and honor before. But I digress. My mic is muted.
No, I understand that. I do. I understand that. And I think that if we're all honest with ourselves, we all understand that when we have children, they're going to make their own decisions. But one thing we can't do is act like just because they put themselves in a precarious situation that means that like they don't deserve what they got on both sides. For instance, with Carmelo, what happened. We got laws against when people die, how that worked. If you did it out of self-defense and you in Texas and you know that, this is the risk you taking. If to the Metcalf boy, hey, being a bully only works when you dealing with people who are afraid of you and won't do what Carmelo did.
But I think that's why people, Lolo, really and I know you get it. I know you get it. But I believe overall, that's why people really be kind of misreading the true message and why I even brought up the Pelosi case. Was there any self-defense even needed or involved? The man, he was in police custody being transported through the airport to go, you were getting your legal justice. I get it. I know, trust me, as a father, I can't front. I'm gonna be real with you. If you want to ask that animal side of me, I mean that human animal side of me, that natural nature organic side of me, I'm 90-10. He's in the right. Now, when we come back to the legal aspect of it, and when we compare to the Carmelo specifically, and why people are trying to say, oh no, he not. Yeah, that's right. 99 should have got more. I'm bringing up a clear case of he went out on his own admission. He brought his gun to an airport in police custody. And listen, shooting a listen, Lola, let me ask you a question. If me and you and somebody else is in the airport and I go ahead and I say, Lolo, watch this, and I just start shooting a gun in the airport, you didn't know I had it, and nobody else with us knew we had it. Yo, man, my girl, nobody knew we had this gun. And I just bust out and I'm like, look, y'all, what would I be in trouble?
Not only would you be in trouble, but everybody that you said, look, y'all, for that they could find on that damn tape would be in trouble.
This man popped somebody between the eyes and the temple and in police custody. So my point is, not only did you discharge a weapon in an airport in public, you could have hit an officer. Where's the whole, possible assault on the office? All of that, everything that they smack on you.
But see, that's the difference.
You got community service and 7 years suspended. No time.
Here's the thing.
That's all I'm saying. It's like, so when people say, yeah, I mean, school, knife, that slash a work utensil, like, come on, man. Like we talking crazy, bro. We talking crazy.
Well, no. You're they're localizing that.
Go ahead.
They're localizing it. They're localizing it. You're not. You're not localizing it to, well, what was the rule in the moment? You're saying, hey, the school versus federal property. Bringing a knife in a book bag to a school is against a public school policy. Bringing a loaded weapon onto federal property is a federal crime. So if a federal crime does not carry 35 years when somebody dies on purpose, premeditated,
in police custody.
In police custody, what are we doing here? You got police as witnesses? Police,
okay. Not students. That's my whole point of the case.
And there's the video
footage.
footage.
They just acting like I'm like, nah, that has nothing to do. What does that have to do? Are you not making the connection?
No, they're not making the connection. And the reason why they're not making a connection is because if you make a connection with that case, then you're going to have to make a connection with a lot of cases. And when you start doing that, you start seeing something that takes us outside the conversation of this case. And it starts showing us that in reality, a lot of Black people, a lot of Black men think that this nation, right, is in a state that truly is not. Like we say this is the land of the free, right? And everybody is due justice and all that other stuff, right? However, this is the land of really whoever think you right. It ain't about the land of the free. For instance, we got laws, but them juries are not lawmakers or law keepers. These are the people that's going to be trying you, not the court system. Regular, everyday, dumb motherfuckers. So what chance do you have when the culture says, well, a white man defending his white son against another white man? No, that's not. No, like the family of the guy who kidnapped. What if we find out that the guy who took the boy was his actual father? What if we find that out? What if we find out that there was no sexual assault, that the boy was running away and told the guy, my father actually sexually assaulted me? What if we find that out? Then what? You see what I'm saying?
Right.
People are purposefully blinded. It's not like the devil blinding them. No, people are purposefully blinding themselves. You don't know the truth. You can only look at what you can physically see. And beyond that, you don't know what's going on. But the biggest issue is not, do you know what happened in the past? The issue is, do you understand the reality of the reality you live in, which is not everyone is equal under the law. Everyone ain't equal under the law. If you're a federal agent and you do what Carmelo did, you are not equal to Carmelo under the law. You're not. If you're a woman and the same thing happened to you, like what happened with Carmelo, you are not equal under the law. And a lot of these men, you know what I mean, that, you know, scream and yell all day on podcasts and shit, they have a big issue with the fact that women are not equal under the law with men. They get away with premeditated murder simply because they're a woman. And they want that to be reconciled. However, you can't reconcile gender equality before you reconcile racial equality. Those two things are not going to coincide before one, you putting the cart before the horse. So, yeah, that's what I mean by that.
Okay. Well, I definitely appreciate you, Lolo. Like, this definitely has been dope as shit. I personally, I'm gonna be real with you though. I'm just, you know what I believe really messed him up more than anything as well, just as much as his defense.
Who's that?
The actual modern day public opinion, because the modern day public opinion, and I'm talking about like the whole country for the most part. We are in a day and age of look, let me put it like this. I'm gonna speak for myself because I'm gonna be real. I got, all right, some more words. We're in a day and age, right? So I know almost every single type of circumstance you can think of in life. I've been through it. I've actually been through circumstances, incarcerated as well as a free person, where I should have died 1,000 times. And me personally, as a person who knows I should have died 1,000 times, and when I look back at all of these different moments that's happened, right? I remember this one instant. I'll give this one small example, right? This is my final thoughts. I remember this one small example of, and this is a true story. I was around the way. I was around Langley Park, and it was around maybe about 11:45. It was like going on midnight. It was around the wintertime, so it was cold as shit outside. So like, now mind you, I'm out there hustling and busting. So like, I'm just like, doing what I gotta do. I'm just getting my product off and everything else, and I'm just trying to keep it cool. I had some folks that tried to try me. It's like 3 of them. All right. I actually kept an actual machete on me. Okay. Now, the reason why I'm telling this story is because how it ended off, it was the one main dude that I knew who made the contact with me. And the other 3 that was behind him, I didn't know them. That was his peoples. And they didn't think I had anything on me. Now, I'm going to be real with you. It could have went so another way. But I went on ahead and I just whipped out. And I was like, hold on, after I realized that he was on some trying to get me in that moment, I'm looking and I'm like, did nobody charge at me? I'm going to be real with you. We were just talking. But in that moment, I went on ahead and I whipped out. And I was like, hold on, so what we doing? He said, chill, Smitty. It's okay. I'm like, nah, it's not okay. And I'm backing up while talking to him. I'm like, I'm picking up my bag and everything, and I'm backing up while talking to him. Nah, it's not okay. I have like real moments in time where it's like, again, this is just one out of 1,000 moments in my life. Anything could have happened. But my point is, when I look at that right there, I'm like, do y'all not know how many times I'm like, shit, I done worse. What you talking about? Like, what are we really saying right now? But anyway, I was backing up, and his homeboys was like trying to approach me and everything, and all I remember is this. One of his homies, they like kind of was like reaching in like they waistband. Man, I grabbed my bag and I had my machete, man. I went on ahead and I hauled ass up out of there. I didn't know if he had an action. I didn't know if he had bullets. We ain't doing no gunfight with the blade. We ain't doing that. I'm not that skilled. He didn't. It was just a goddamn bluff. I go ahead, I turn around and I say, you motherfucker. I'm yelling at them from a distance. But they didn't on ahead, went on ahead and went off. I go my own way. But that's just one moment. That was like, it was a real quick moment. But all I'm saying is, in that instant, what if I didn't take them to be a bluff fully? What if I didn't have that discernment? What if I wasn't? Because thank God I am like street knowledgeable, right? Because we know Carmelo's not. He's not one of them. He's like, you know, he goes to practice, go home, goes to a party here and there. He's one of those kids. He's not in the streets. What saved my life more than anything was my street knowledge. And I mean, some people may disregard that, but that's some real shit. My pinpoint accurate discernment in that moment. Just what am I supposed to do right now? I picked up my bag. Yeah, it was full of something that should have been. I went on ahead and got my, you know what I'm saying? You talking about a 3-inch blade? I had a whole machete. I'm not playing with you. No, and I'm telling you where I was at. Y'all can look it up. Langley Park. I was right there where TikTok liquor store was at. Right there at the intersection around Riggs Road and University Boulevard. Okay, it goes down. I used to frequent that. Okay, just to give y'all a location. Ain't nobody just capping on nothing. My point is to land it. I actually been through those type of moments where I didn't know what was going to happen to me. Y'all have no clue how many times I actually can look back and say, you know what? Not only have I should have died 1,000 times over, I should by now be serving about 1 million+ years. Y'all have no idea. Am I proud of that? No, I'm saying that as far as that is, that's just a part of my walk in this life. I've been through that shit. So when we keep on talking about from a internet perspective to land it from an internet perspective, oh, he did, I wouldn't have, why did he pull out a blade? Why did he do this? And the only thing that goes through my mind is, I swear on life, you've never had that moment when you saw your life flash before your eyes. You never had that moment before. You never had it. There's no possible way. There's no possible way you've had that moment where your life blinked before your eyes and everything you knew and loved was a flash of a moment. You've never seen that shit before. What's going on, girl? Hey, sexy.
Well,
you've never had that moment, but I digress. My mic is muted. Rock out, Lolo. That's why I just be a little like the internet perspective of what happened in that moment. I'm like, I just be listening like, how many of y'all really done had that moment? Like, real talk. How many of y'all
most
really
people
had your
have
life flash before your damn eyes? Go ahead, though.
most people have never been in a real like live situation to have to decide between pulling out, not pulling out, getting chased, fighting versus fight. Like, they've never been in that. But for the ones that have, everybody has their perspective based on their own experience, right? And so when we say, well, I got jumped and I didn't have a knife and I didn't pull it out because I didn't have it. Well, if you would have had it, then we could say, Well, like if you would say, well, I got jumped by 6 guys and I had a knife, but I didn't pull it out and I didn't use it because that wasn't the time. I'll hear your story and we can talk about that. But unless that's what you're saying, that you had 3, whatever amount of people walking up on you and you had a weapon and you did not pull out, and it was very clear that hands got put on you, but you refused to pull your weapon out. Maybe you got some snuff right there, but nah, that ain't most people's testimony.
Lolo, let me say this real quick. You know what happened before that incident that I just explained to you? Before that, I think it was maybe just, I shit you not, I think it was maybe about just like some months before, maybe like 1 or 2 months before, I woke up in the hospital. I got jumped off of, a bad situation. Just look, again, I'm gonna say it, doing shit I ain't had no business doing. But my point is this: I'm talking about specifically in the instant moment of when your life flashed before your eyes. I got jumped bad. Now I'm in a similar situation. Now I'm out of the hospital. I'm good. It's a month's gone down. And I'm like, bump that shit. I ain't gonna have that happen to me no more. That's my mentality now. Like, we don't think about how things progress or anything. We don't know what possibly has happened. He is in primarily a state and county and jurisdiction where he is at an extreme minority.
Well, that's what I was getting ready to say
And
to
listen,
you. That
watch this. Do you know what happened? Listen, like I said, Langley Park. Now watch this, y'all. When I said everything that happened to me, it was, I'm saying it, shout out to my amigos regardless, but it wasn't no black people. That was Spanish people that jumped me and attacked me. I got jumped by like MS dudes and all of that. I really done been through that before. They were actual, they weren't black, for the record. They were freaking Spanish. Langley Park is all Spanish.
Well, this is what I was going to say to you next, which is, one, I didn't hear no testimony of Carmelo seeing a psychologist or some sort of professional to dive into his mind state in that moment. Professional witness about things. I didn't hear any of that. How expert witness that is. However, I know, at least from the grapevine, I might be wrong, but I know that some other children at that same school poked another child. And I don't know if the other child lived or not. I think they did pass away. And those other 2, I think it was 2 children, they did not serve any time in jail for that. They got off. Now, if I was going to a school where you got, the white tea boys or any boys walking around in the American South, okay, poking people up and getting off scot-free, what you think I'm carrying to school? First of all, I ain't even going there. But what you think I'm taking with me? And so, to your point about previous circumstances, if I look at, what Carmelo probably or most likely was aware of, and then ask, why did you have would you have the knife? Well, it may have a lot more to do with the environment of that school. And when you add bullying onto that, right, this is just a recipe for disaster. And so a lot of times bullies are only bullies when they think they can walk away from it while still breathing. I'm going to ask you this, right? If you was a guy and one of your if you and one of your homeboys was like, let's run up on this other dude standing on the corner. We're gonna walk up and then we're gonna pull out. You already know that to walk up with another dude is to create a sense of fear and a sense of what WTF. Okay, when you doing this, so that if you're gonna rob somebody, they most likely are thinking they might get robbed, so they might be armed. So when you walk up to this person to rob them, or nowhere on the planet would you ever do that. And that you don't need a weapon, or the second person or so, or is not a second weapon. My point is, let me land it.
My bad.
Bullies bully who they think won't fight back, because a fight equals your life might end. That every fight could end in somebody's life being taken. You throw something at someone the wrong way, they could pass away. You push them and they fall, they could pass away. You hit them in their neck, or you cause the bone in their nose to go up in their brain the wrong way because you hit them hard enough. You see what I'm saying? So it's like nobody goes to bully somebody that they think is packing. Nobody does that. Now, if you think somebody packing and you still want to bully them, I know that you're packing. Now, to this point, and I know you didn't bring it up, I'm still wondering, was the other people involved standing around that came to this situation, what weapons did they have? Because that school was not a good school to be at. Kids walking around with a lot of weapons up there. What weapons did these kids have? Because I didn't hear anybody ask that question. Like, do you own a weapon?
Well, the weapon in Carmelo's mind, what I can assess is the weapon is the extra bodies. And I heard
no, that's the weapon. You understand. What I'm saying is, I didn't hear no testimony as to what did they have on their person in this. It was all about Carmelo, but Carmelo didn't take the stand.
On their person. No. I'm telling you, on their person, multiple people. Folks like folks really disregard that. If it's 3 of you and y'all let's say men, okay, we're gonna take it to men, just random. Okay, I want you to get a picture in your head. You got one guy, he's nice and muscularly, muscular built and everything, and it's just him by himself. He can fight and everything else, but it's 3 more of him. And those 3 are trying to fight him. He picks up a baseball bat and or a golf club. While during that fight, let's say out of all 3 of the dudes that's attacking him, they wound up eventually overpowering him. But during the initial, he cracked one of them smooth in the face. And it did some serious damage. I'm telling you now, the extra 2 out of the one that he cracked is the weapon of that one that he hit. If you see where I'm at? Those 2 extra bodies is a weapon. That golf club is supposed to be the equalizer. Facts. Let's rock out.
That's all. What I'm saying is, it's natural for him to perceive more than one person as a threat and as the weapon of choice. Just like Zimmerman thought the ground was a weapon. He thought these extra bodies were weapons. It happens, right? But what I'm trying to understand is, why is it that we don't understand from nobody? And obviously they're not gonna, snitch on themselves. But from nobody did we understand, well, did y'all have weapons? Because it's clear he had a weapon. It's clear. But did y'all actually have weapons here? Which is why he might have been carrying one, because a lot of you Negroes at this school on that dumb shit. Like, who didn't have weapons?
No,
nobody
not even
knows.
that. No, not about do they have weapons, Lolo?
No, did they have it on?
No, not even that. Why? Listen, if you listen, let me ask you a question. You're a mother. What if one day, you being, I know, the attentive mother that you are, and you pay attention, because I be here, you giving all kind of kisses, getting up, come on, give me a kiss, shut up, stop being embarrassed. Lolo, one of them mothers. So, you being attentive as you are, let's say one day, Lord forbid, they're out of school now. The ones that's out of school, say during that time, it's like their junior year, and you recognize, hold on, wait a minute, you're doing laundry and you peep they got a big ass knife in a pocket, or let's say one day you find a gun in a room. Let me ask you a question. You as a mother, nothing happened. This whole tent situation didn't happen yet, but you found everything he had on him before it happened. You as a
Mhm.
mother, what would you say to your son? Like, what kind of talk would happen? What would take place? So he's out and you found it during laundry. You know how moms do, clean up your room while you're gone and then search for shit. You found it. Okay, it's on his bed. You in the living room shaking your leg with your glass of wine. We gotta have a talk. Boom, go.
Because I take my son to the gun range, and my son is trained in 3 different types of martial arts styles.
Okay, no, no.
Wait, let me finish. Because see, I gotta say it based on who I am, not based on no. If my son had that in his room,
no, please,
what?
Lola.
What?
Please, Lola. No,
I can't answer if I can't answer honestly.
No. I have to switch the scenario. Okay, so
Why?
My bad. Hold on. So Lola,
why are you switching the scenario?
Wait, here's the situation. The school calls your job. You pick up the phone. How are you doing, Miss O'Shea?
No. Why are you switching the scenario?
Because you telling me that because I do the same thing. Like, I ain't gonna lie, my daughter got a pistol herself and she got a couple knives. I ain't gonna lie.
That doesn't change the situation.
You already
so
know.
I think
I got shorts of showing my daughter how to shoot, and you already know.
But it don't change this. It don't change the situation. So that's what I'm saying. It's not good.
Just please, Lola, Lola.
But it don't.
Please, I beg of you, watch. It's very simple, and I'm gonna shut up. The scenario is
okay. So if you're asking me about if the school is involved versus if I find something in my house, these are 2 different situations. So you're taking it outside of it. And I'm saying, why are we moving the
gun
situation?
in his locker? So would you question your son? Why do you have to bring a gun to school? There we go.
It doesn't. No, let's go back to the knife because it's the same point. It's the same point. But now you're talking about after a violation has happened. Talk about from before. Like, these are 2 separate situations, and you deal with them separately. You don't deal with them the same.
I have to give you that. Okay, you got the floor.
You can't.
Okay, you got the floor.
If I find a knife or a pocket knife of some sort that I didn't know about on my son or in his room or someplace in his things, right? And it's in a situation where I know he's carrying that knife or keeping it or whatever the case may be, I'm gonna ask him, why do you feel that you have to carry this to this specific place? What's going on with that place that you feel you need to carry that knife? Now, that's the only question that there is, because I don't have a problem with my child having a pocket knife. I really don't, unless I think he has a mental issue. Like, if he got a mental issue or some sort of condition, that's the only time I would have an issue with him carrying a weapon like that, personally, for me. But I would ask what's going on at the school if I found it. Now, to even do you one better, if he takes a loaded pistol to school in my house, because I'm a good parent, my child is not ignorant to law. Like, not when I'm putting it in his hands. My child is not ignorant. But most children
I don't want you to make it too anecdotal. Don't make it too anecdotal.
Most children that do bring pistols to school know that right there is a problem, and them holding it because they're not registered. Obviously, they know that that's a crime too. Most teenagers know that. So by that time, they have already felt threatened, because you know what it takes for a child to go purchase a firearm illegally, that is. So they're not doing that for happenstance state. They're not doing that. So there's a problem before they even purchase the pistol. There's a problem. It just is. That ain't the first time something didn't happen. Now, if they walking around selling, you know what, and they need protection because they're doing something else illegal, again, you notice what's preceding that. It's always something preceding you saying, let me get protection. Something precedes it. Now, in Carmelo's case, you're a A-type student. What preceded you bringing that in your bag? Like, what preceded that? I'm telling you now, something did happen. He's just not telling us. Whether it's what happened at that school, whether it's something, whether it's the truth that him and this Metcalf boy really do know each other, and there is some level of beef there. But there's something that preceded that. We just don't know what it is. And I would say the same thing with my own son. If you go and feel like, and you go do anything, you're doing it for a reason. So it's really no different whether it's a knife, a pistol, a stick, a bat, mace, whatever. It's the same. It's the same principle. But I'll let you have that.
Okay, no. I would say that we're on the same footing. It's just, you just have a different angle in how you're actually, putting it together. I'm just simply saying, Lolo, like when it comes to the perception of things, all right. We all know when it comes to us as parents, how we have a certain perception as far as how our kids and everything else. Carmelo having his life being what it was and is, before this whole everything happened. My point is, to try to mark him in a certain way and just make it seem like, you know what, because I'm gonna be real with you, when I hear how people go on him with his story to land it, I'm like, none of us are safe. Like nobody. Lola, not you, nobody. My mama not safe. Nobody is safe. Not my dad if he was still living. Nobody is safe. Let you have like huh?
I agree with you on that.
You say what? Yeah, so
I
it's like,
agree
and
with
then
you
the
on
thing
that.
is yeah, but more importantly, my whole thing is that when it comes down to the non-forgivance, I mean, I believe that it hits harder when it comes from home, when it's your own that's saying, because we all know that the world will judge us too. But I'm just simply saying that when it's in-house, that shit hits. I'm just letting my people know, just this, to the audience, to the people who might hear this, that's what hits a lot harder than, like some random, Arab, East Indian, who up and think in your head, right? An Asian person, I don't give a goddamn. And I said G-O-T, not G-O-D. For those of y'all that's holy. I'm just saying, like, when it's one of my own that be doing that, it's like, I don't know, Lolo. It hits a lot harder. Do you agree, or are you one of those truly on your Bruce Lee shit? Like, Smitty, I'm beyond the point of all of these niggas, but I don't know how you feel. I don't know. What's your thoughts?
I'm on my Bruce Lee shit.
I figured
I don't
that's
expect.
why I said it. That's why I said
I don't expect my own to be some monoliths that said because we share the same ethnicity, even that they're going to see my truth. Like I don't expect that. White people don't expect that from each other. So I don't expect that from my group of people. They are people. You got some that would understand, and you got some that wouldn't. They normal people. But one thing I would never do is act like they owe it to me to agree or disagree. Nobody owes it. Now, is it nice to have people on your side? Sure, but the only people you should expect to be on your side is your people, not African Americans, not the country, nothing. Like for real. Like that's not how that goes.
okay. All right. Well, Lolo, I'm gonna go ahead and with that being said, I digress. My mic is muted. I'm gonna give Lolo her proper exit. I had to go ahead and pull this one up because it's not my stream, y'all. Lolo, much respect to you, beloved. I thank you for showing up. Thank you so much.
Why?
My check 1 2 1 2. And with that being said, I digress. My mic is muted. Much respect to the family. You guys have yourself a wonderful evening. Respect.
Welcome to the lighthouse. Storm all around. I'm standing right now, sent from the cloud. They talking mine now, but I'm just fighting for my blood and my life back. Yeah. Sent from the heaven, king on seven, trials on trials, still count blessings. Wait on the revelating, heart in heaven. I stay patient, I'm beyond the angels. I am mad, I bleed, I'm tangled. Sword on my back, axe on the strap. Go with the weight of the word in my lap. Touching my king, we doubling back. Pray with my palm, but I'm ready for that. Long South County king, that's greatness. Stand tall, whole county on the wait list. I just want my acres, you can keep your grand. Build this from the gravel for my whole family. PG is great and the DMV ain't faking. If I said I'm the one, no, I wasn't mistaken. Long South County king, yeah, we blazing. Welcome to the lighthouse foundation. Still waiting on revelation. Till then I'm in rotation. Heard of my chases, but I'm chasing. Turn my scars into statements. I don't need to stage a camera. I need these papers, hand and hammer. Still in my spine, still in my hands. Guarding my bloodline, holding this land. They can test, they can try, they can hate me. I've been forging a fire that will make me PG raised. Lone Star in my vein. DMV on the map, say the name. Lone Star Cooney Kings, that's greatness. Stand tall, whole county on the wait list. I just want my acres, you can keep your Grammy. Build this from the gravel for my whole family. PG is greatness, DMV ain't faking. If I said I'm the one, no, I wasn't mistaken. Don't talk Cooney King, yeah, we blazing. Welcome to the lighthouse foundation. Me, I'm in my zone, focused on my own growth. I be water walking through these streets like sailboat. Me, I be the compass as I lead and guide my people. I'm a father, I'm friend with a couple guns legal. You not that smart, quit the bull. Yes, I'm seeing right through you. I be talking to the spirits, but best believe it's not voodoo. Yeah, I know you think you him, but in my head, I'm like who you? I'm a legend, I'm a beast, I'm the rose that grew through concrete. Let's keep it going. Keep it pushing as I lay back. Curtains drawn like I'm in a Maybach. Me, I'm so unique, I'm like needle in the haystack. Catching money, dodging fame. I sticking over while stacking racks. Go out, hammer, pop your shit, but don't be mad when I clap back. Let's keep it going. Yeah, let's go.
Me in the jungle, hit a rumble. Caught a couple touchdowns and I had a couple fumbles. Look at me, now I recovered. This is mind over matter. Keep it pushing when I stumble. Long way from home to gather wisdom and stay humble. Eyes wide shut, this me. This is dawn to me, vessel crumble. I return.
My mic is muted.
I digress. My mic is muted.